rusher and leading tackler up until the middle of week 3 when he was hurt with a leg injury. Grady comes back, and on the first time he touches the ball, 47 yards down the right-hand side. He was also able to implement himself in defense quite a bit, and it seems like Gebhardt is back and ready for some action. So this team, pretty good right now for week number 8 of high school football. Tonight, the Ellsworth Bearcats wait for them on senior night, and Ellsworth trying to get themselves out of a mini slump of a 2-game losing streak. Ellsworth lost to Beloit last Friday night, and that set southeast of Saline up to have at least a share of the NCAA title. That's just one of the things the Trojans can play for tonight. They can win the league title outright. They can also win their 5th straight district championship. Oh, by the way, they can also secure the number 1 seed in Class 2A in the Western bracket when it comes out at the end of the games tonight. That's thanks to Phillipsburg, who knocked out Norton, the only other undefeated team in the West, last Friday night. Got a lot to talk about, as we always do with this game. When we come back in segment 3, we'll sit down with our pregame conversation with Mitch Gebhardt. Coming up next, Tyler Henry had a chance to sit down and talk Ellsworth football with head coach of the Bearcats. It's Josh Homolka. That is coming up next. Countdown to kickoff is underway from the Equity Bank broadcast booth as we get ready for Trojan football. It's week number 8, and Countdown to Kickoff is brought to you by L&L Advisors. Open enrollment time is here for Medicare. If you have questions and maybe some strangers trying to get a hold of you by phone or even knocking on your door, contact the experts, the people you know at L&L Advisors. 2 locations in Salina and 1 in downtown McPherson. L&L Advisors, a proud supporter of student athletes, including those right here southeast of Saline. The Bearcats and the Trojans here on KINA and worldwide on Salina Post. Pregame continues when we come back here from the Equity Bank broadcast booth in Ellsworth on KINA.
Stardust Trophy has been a family-owned business in downtown Salina since 1976. That tradition continues today. While Valerie and Wendell may be setting their sights on future vacations, Mallory is ready to serve you with a new name, products, and services. Stardust Awards and more. Personalized items and products for your office, business promotion, wedding, and of course, medals and trophies, plus so much more. Stardust Awards and more in downtown Salina since 1976, serving you at StardustTrophy.com.
Assyria Oil and Hardware encourages you to celebrate your freedoms and the best country on the planet. Stop in and check out the largest ammo supply in southern Saline County. Stock up now and be ready for next season. With 24/7 pumps, no matter what time of day or night, your gas and diesel tanks can rely on us. During regular business hours, you can get your favorite pizza and snacks to have enough energy to win the day. Assyria Oil and Hardware, located in Assyria at the corner of Center and Main. We'll fill you up.
Fall is the absolute best time for the experts at Commercial Tire Centers to look over your vehicle. Summer was tough on your tires, and winter's coming on strong. You don't want to be left stranded with tires that aren't performing. Car, truck, SUV, trailers, farm, and big rig. Commercial Tire will help you keep safe and productive. Commercial Tire Centers, West Crawford and North 9 in Salina.
Commercial Tire Centers, where service is everything.
APAC Kansas Incorporated has been building the Heartland from the ground up for over a century. From the supply of aggregate materials, hot mix asphalt, and concrete to the construction of roads and bridges, we do it all. You've seen our trucks, and now we want to hire you. APAC in Salina is growing, and we are hiring for all positions. From truck drivers to mechanics, general laborers, and construction, APAC has your next career. For more details, visit the job links page at salinapost.com. Great pay and benefits. APAC is an equal opportunity employer.
At Vernon Jewelers, we are celebrating 140 years of our family serving yours, serving you with the best in prices, quality, and the service to back it up. You can trust us for your unique custom pieces and any repair you may need. And just because we've been around for 140 years doesn't mean we are old and out of touch. It just means we're really good at what we do. Now is the time to shop for the holiday. Come see us in downtown Salina and look for the iconic Vernon Jewelers sign on Santa Fe, here for you since 1884.
Need more time in your day? Laundry Technicians of Salina is here to help, offering premier wash and fold services with same-day or 24-hour service options. It's as easy as dropping off and picking up, allowing you to attend all of life's events. Perfect for when you're back from vacation, short on time, or dealing with the unexpected. Let us handle your laundry needs and simplify your day, one load at a time. Locally owned and operated, visit Laundry Technicians in Craft Manor today.
Time now for tonight's scouting report for Southeast of Saline football.
Back here on the L&L Advisors Countdown to Kickoff, it's Tyler Henry, and it's time now for us to go behind enemy lines, presented by Salina Septic Service. We're joined today by Ellsworth head coach Josh Homolka. Josh, first and foremost, thank you so much for taking some time and coming on the pregame today.
No problem, thanks. So, I was curious, when you take these first 7 weeks as kind of a big package deal, overall, what would you say has been your biggest takeaway from the season as we head here into week 8?
I think we've made progress, but I think the last couple of weeks we found out some of the things we need to work on and get a little better at, and that's the biggest thing. I think we do a lot of good things, but we got to be a little more consistent with it and just keep striving to get better.
You and I talked before the season began about, just the chip on the shoulder for some of these kids. Obviously, you lost a big senior class, but you brought back a lot of talent too. And I felt like you guys really proved that in the first 5 weeks. Do you feel like this team's been playing with that kind of confidence since the very beginning of the year?
Yeah, and I thought we played with it last week. A couple mistakes in the second half, and it turned into a different ball game. I mean, it's 14. It was 7-6 going into halftime, so we were in the ball game until the last 2 minutes. So, we had our chances, and we didn't capitalize, and Beloit did. So we've done it. We've played as hard as we can. I wouldn't say we've always played the best ball we could, but we've always played with a lot of effort. So we definitely got some stuff to build on, and it's a good foundation.
Well, and speaking of good foundation, I know it feels like, some of the bigger games were kind of backloaded in the schedule here, but, how big are these contests against the Southeast of Salines and the Beloits of the world to kind of prepare yourself to make another playoff push?
Beloit's, it's a big-time league opponent last week, and it wasn't a district game. This is an even bigger game going with Southeast because, you got a district championship on the line, and you got a share of a conference championship on the line. So we're going to put our best foot forward. Southeast is a really good football team. They always are. So we'll have our hands full, but that's our, there's a lot of motivation going into the last week of the season.
Well, and I was also curious to get your thoughts on that. You look at these last couple of games. How crucial is it to try to finish your season on a high note before you get into the postseason and make sure that you don't go into the playoffs on a 3-game losing streak?
Well, nobody wants to go into the playoffs with a 3-game losing streak, but the biggest thing is it's a whole new animal on how the playoffs are decided and who's seated where and things like that. So it's going to be a whole new outlook, and going in with a win would, being a 1 seed's a lot different than our district's pretty tight. If it could be a tie for 3 people for second, third, and fourth. So we're in it. We win. You're a 1 seed. If we don't, it gets complicated, and that'll go by points and all that stuff, and who knows where you land up.
I know we've talked about him all season long, but again, he has been so impressive this season, and I think we knew he would be, but even to this extent, 1,000-yard rusher in Landon Johnson. He came into last week's game averaging almost 10 yards a carry. How great has it been to just kind of see him bloom into what he's been here for your team this year?
It's just great to see a young man who puts in the work, and it pays off, and he's proof of it. He had to wait in the wings. He did some good stuff for us. Last year he did a lot of good things, but he kind of got overshadowed. But it's just nice to see somebody who puts in a ton of work, and it pays off for them, and they get the recognition they deserve.
Across the board, you've got, and I said it last week, I'll say it again, I think one of the best defenses in Class 2A. You look at the way those guys fly around. You held Beloit in check for the most part last week. Overall, when you look at your defensive unit, what feels like the biggest strength of that team or of that side of the ball that you can hang your hat on every week?
I think you got our 2 inside linebackers kind of set the tone for our defense this year. They'll bring it. Micah Galvin and Tucker Goss are the 2 guys who they're fearless, and they'll put it on you. And then you got a really seasoned guy like Dax Fleiker in the back end he can come down and help those 2 out. So those 3 on defense have really, really been good. And then you got a force on the edge with Cooper McGowan. They try to run away from him a lot. So those 4 guys really, really shown some things this season.
This has been a really fun rivalry to watch between yourselves and Southeast of Saline, especially as Ellsworth has kind of continued to rise here these last couple of weeks. Does this felt almost like there's a little more juice behind this game the last couple of years, aside from just being a regular league game?
Well, there's been juice to start it, but it seems like Southeast has got us pretty good the last couple of years. We played them tough for about 3 quarters last year, and then we let it get out of hand. So I don't know if Southeast really looks at it as a rivalry right now. A rivalry is a little bit of a give and take, and we haven't taken any. They've usually given it to us. So we're trying to get it to that point, and we've made progress. But we still got some work to do, and we just want to be in a position in the fourth quarter where it's tight.
When you look at this year's Southeast of Saline team, what are the biggest things that kind of stand out to you right away, and some of the biggest challenges that they present as a team?
They're a team that, they've had some really talented teams since I've been at Ellsworth, and it seems like they just reload, and they have a scheme, and they stick to it, whether it's offense or defense, and they got a recipe to win. And they might lose a great quarterback, but they just plug a new one in, and they fit into that system really well. So they got a great coaching staff. Coach Gebhardt does a great job. Great former Bearcat right there. But, they just reload, and they can do it over and over again. They got consistency, and that's what you need in a great program.
Well, and with this being the biggest game of the year, arguably for both programs coming into Week 8, how huge is it to know that you get it at home in Ellsworth in front of that red wave?
Everybody hates riding buses, so it's just nice that. Another thing nice for us, we'll actually have school the last 2 Fridays. We haven't had school on Friday, so our guys might be in a little better. But they didn't sit at home and veg out at all, so. That'll be a little more consistency for us on a Friday, and that'll be nice.
Well, last thing for you here, Coach. Overall, what would you say are your biggest keys to the game? What does Ellsworth have to do to pick up the win here and claim at least a share of the district title?
Well, we got to be able to run the ball. We weren't able to do that last week. We got to be able to run the ball a little bit, but we got to get a few 3-and-outs if that's easier said than done against a team like Southeast, because they do such a good job of their no-huddle offense and getting up and getting plays off quick. So we got to be able to just blunt the damage that they can do on offense. And then, we got to be able to pick up some guys and run the ball a little bit.
Well, Coach Amolka, thank you again so much for your time, sir. Best of luck to your Bearcats here tonight.
I appreciate it.
Once again, that was Josh Amolka, head coach of the Ellsworth Bearcats, taking on Southeast of Saline at home here tonight. We'll be back with more pregame coverage right after this. It's Countdown to Kickoff presented by L&L Advisors. It's right here on KI.
The hours of drills, the pre-dawn workouts, the hundreds of laps. It takes hard work, passion, and drive to do what you love. When you're sidelined by injury, Salina Regional Sports Medicine is just as committed and works just as hard to get you back in the game. Salina Regional Sports Medicine, 785-452-7366. SalinaRegionalSportsMedicine.com.
It's third down and 8 for the Trojans. They really need to make the right call here.
During the football game, it's crucial to make the right call. And in real estate, one call can bring a positive outcome from your real estate experience. Whether you're looking for real property, upsizing to make room for the family, downsizing, or acquiring investment property, call Winnell Garrettson at Salina Homes.
What a call! Touchdown, Trojan!
Buy or sell, call Winnell.
Suit up for your next Southeast of Saline game day with Trojan gear from CopyCo. T-shirts, hoodies, hats, and more available off the rack or customized. At CopyCo, they offer all the printing and custom apparel you need at the prices and fast turnaround you've come to expect over the last 30 years as your local hometown print shop. Whether you're a diehard Trojan fan, a coach planning the next big event, or a business looking to sponsor the team, they've got everything you need to show your Southeast of Saline spirit. CopyCo, more than just a copy center, a proud sponsor of Southeast of Saline.
Visit Suburban Appliance Center in Salina to see the Whirlpool washer with 2 ways to wash, thanks to the 2-in-1 removable agitator. With a flexible capacity, you can take the agitator out for bulky loads or keep it in for items like jeans. Shop now at Suburban Appliance Center and get twice the washer you have at home. Suburban Appliance Center in Salina, located at 1900 South 9th Street, or check them out at suburbanappliancecenter.com.
You're listening to Trojan Football on KINA Sports.
Back here on Countdown to Kickoff, getting ready for Southeast of Saline football. It's the regular season finale on the road once again in Ellsworth, the hometown of Mitch Gebhardt, as the coach comes in. And, boy, I know this is always a fun game for you, Coach, as we get ready to roll here. And it's brought to you by Frisbee Construction. Coming to Ellsworth, and we've done that a lot, too, the last 3 years now. We've been to Ellsworth to play, and the last couple of years it's fell in the last game of the regular season. And it's just one of those fun games for you, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is, and I still know a lot of people there, and, I always think it's a great place to play down there in the bottom, and it's an exciting atmosphere.
It definitely is a beautiful place, especially this time of year when the leaves start changing a little bit. I think we might have a little fall in the air tonight by the time we're done with this one, temperature-wise. And as you said, it is a beautiful place. Let's go back and talk about your game last week. 38-15, you're able to defend your home field on senior night against Halstead. And I feel like we're talking a little bit like Halstead, like we did with Hillsborough the week before. This football team wasn't indicative of their record. They came in, and I was pretty impressed with the Dragons. What were your thoughts?
Yeah, I was very impressed with Halstead. They played a rough schedule, a lot of good teams on their schedule, and those boys just keep coming at you. Coach Raffett does a good job of getting them ready every single week, and they're big up front. We had trouble stopping the run game there to start out with, and they're a good football team, and we need to make some adjustments, and we did. And after that, I thought we played better.
Let's start with your defense on that side of the ball, and just kind of the runs up the middle have been something that you've talked about and mentioned, it seems like almost every week this year. And they had a nice mix of play calling. They kept you on your toes. You weren't really able to dial into one specific thing, were you?
No, we really weren't. Their quarterback's good. I mean, he started at 16, 17 games. He started all the games last year for them, too. And his football IQ is high, and he did a lot of good things. He's a big, strong kid that was hard to bring down. We had several guys hit him, maybe he could have had him for a loss or whatever, and he ended up gaining 3 or 4 yards. So you start with him. The fullback was good, and like I mentioned, those guys up front did a nice job. And I felt like as the game progressed, we got better with what they did.
If you weren't tracking the game, or as they say in baseball, keeping score at home, I've never really got that. I don't know who does that. But if you weren't really paying attention statistically to the offense, you would come away and maybe think that it wasn't a typical Southeast Trojan game on offense. But still, when you look at the final numbers, 335 yards, you have pretty much an even split between rushing and passing. What were your thoughts on your offense last Friday?
It took us a little while to get going. After we got going, I felt like we were comfortable. Getting through that pick early on that first drive. And a lot of times if we can score on the first drive, it gives us some confidence, and the other team starts questioning what they're doing a little bit. And, let that ball fly there, and Tucker should have probably cut in front to get to that ball. So it was just miscommunication on their part. After that drive, I felt like we kind of settled into what we wanted to do, and I felt like the kids did a good job. I feel like our offensive line did a good job against a very good defensive line at Halstead. So when you can be balanced like that, your offensive line is playing pretty well.
What about your special teams? I felt like the wind really affected a game for the first time this year. A couple of kicks that were probably blown out of bounds that usually stay on the middle of the field, and then also your point after conversions as well.
And Malachi does such a good job of kicking. We just kind of got used to him putting it where we wanted to. But I do think the wind affected that a little bit. But I still feel like our special teams did a good job. We didn't get as many 2-point conversions, but part of that, Halstead's got an awful good defense. I feel like our special teams did a good job. They've returned a couple kicks for touchdowns this year, and we kept them from doing that. So overall, I think we did okay on special teams.
38-15, the final score. We saw the return of Grady Gebhardt, who was just an important piece of your offense, defense, special teams, everything you do. So really this team coming into the last game of the regular season here in week number 8, how's the health of this team? I know there's bumps and bruises and things like that we don't talk about that the guys are dealing with, but overall, you're pretty good, aren't you?
I think we're getting more healthy. We've kind of been beat up for several weeks here, and we're getting more healthy. We want to continue to do that, and we talk every day about the boys taking care of themselves and making sure if they need to get some physical therapy or whatever it is they need to do to make sure that they're doing the best they can now. But we're getting more healthy. We want to continue to do that.
I didn't have a chance to ask you in pregame last week, and it was just kind of something that went on through the night. It was senior night on campus. You have 9 seniors on the squad this year. And what's this senior class meant to you? I know each one is kind of unique and different and has their own personality. What are your thoughts on the seniors from this year?
Well, they've done an outstanding job with our program. They haven't lost very many games, but that take that away and just outstanding kids. When we volunteer for different things throughout the year, and we ask the kids to do some stuff that's extra, that's not just during football season, obviously. And these kids show up, nine guys, and we knew that they were going to be there. And when they got there, they were going to work at whatever it is we were doing. So just good quality young men, and I'm awful proud of what they've accomplished.
So far this season now, 7-0 is Southeast of Saline, and something happened on Friday night that was also worth taking note, and that was a loss by Norton. They lost to Phillipsburg, one of their big rivals up north, and it's always kind of been a side eye on Norton from Southeast of Saline followers because it seemed like it was Norton and Southeast of Saline for the number 1 seed in the West this season with the current playoff format. Any talk about that in the locker room, or has it just been totally Ellsworth this week?
We do talk about that a little bit because it's awful important. I mean, this Ellsworth game is the most important thing that we've done all week, obviously, and prepare for and those things. But we have a lot on the line. We have a league championship and a district title, and also we could, for the first time in 2A history, we could have a team on the West be at home every single playoff game. So, we've got a lot on the line. Obviously, we need to take care of business tonight and just kind of see where things line up then after that.
How's your week been in preparation for this Ellsworth team?
We've had a good, solid week of practice. I won't say anything was spectacular, but nothing was terrible either. So, it's kind of what you get when you're this far along in the season. Guys are fairly locked in and getting done what we need to do. So, I'd say it was a good week of practice.
It seems like this Ellsworth team is run heavy, not only offensively, how they like to run the ball so much with a really good running back, but they also have a tendency to clog up the middle a little bit as well when they're on defense. They've had 2 tough games that they've dropped here over the last couple of weeks. What do you expect from this Bearcat squad?
Coach Omoka does a great job. Those kids are going to be flying around all over the place, and on defense especially, and they do a good job. They have for years there, and so we got to be prepared for what they're going to do. Their kids play hard. They're going to be fundamentally sound on defense for sure. And then offensively, they're going to run the football some, but they throw the ball just enough to keep you on your toes. So we got to be ready for anything they might throw at us. So we got to make sure we had a good, we're prepared and we got to play together as a team and play physical.
As you said, a lot that you've been working up for all year on the line tonight, another league title in the NCAA. You can win outright. You already have a share of that. Also a district title for the 5th straight year and the number 1 seed in the West, which you mentioned. What are your keys to success? I know it's unfair to call this game a tune-up for the playoffs tonight because Ellsworth is very good. They've only lost 2 games. What do you want to see most, though, from your guys tonight?
We got to take care of the football and offense. We didn't do a good job against Hillsboro, did a better job last week, and we got to continue to get better at that. Every possession matters when you get to games like this, and we got to make sure and value the football, get first downs, keep their offense off the field. Defensively, we got to play together, make sure we're in the right spots, and make tackles once we get there. I felt like we struggled a little bit. We had guys arriving and hitting last week, and then their guys are falling forward. So we got to make sure that we're aggressive after we get to where we need to be. Special teams, I really feel like we've put an emphasis a little more on special teams this year, and we got to continue to be good in that phase of the game also.
Mitch Gebhardt, head coach of the Southeast of Saline Trojans. His guys tonight rounding out the regular season on the road in Ellsworth. Coach, best of luck to you. Thanks for your time, and we'll talk to you at halftime.
Thank you.
That's Mitch Gebhardt. When we come back, countdown to kickoff will continue from the Equity Bank broadcast booth. We'll have the coin toss and the start of this one, Southeast of Saline on the road at Ellsworth. Countdown to kickoff is brought to you by L&L Advice.
In the trenches and on the ground, that's where the game is won. Isaacson Truck Line is a proud supporter of the Southeast of Saline Trojans. For local and long-haul service of freight and livestock, call Isaacson Truck Line, reminding you to have a safe Friday night on the roads. Wreak havoc, Trojans.
The Appliance Center. It's where you go to shop for washers, dryers, kitchen appliances, furniture, pellet grills, TVs, and so much more. If you are looking for a local family-owned business, visit the Appliance Center. We're in the big red and white building on South Broadway in Salina. Come experience the Appliance Center difference.
Fall is the absolute best time for the experts at Commercial Tire Centers to look over your vehicle. Summer was tough on your tires, and winter's coming on strong. You don't want to be left stranded with tires that aren't performing. Car, truck, SUV, trailers, farm, and big rig. Commercial Tire will help you keep safe and productive. Commercial Tire Centers, West Crawford and North 9th in Salina.
Commercial Tire Center, where service is everything.
The Southeast of Saline School District has a long-standing reputation for excellence. This excellence in public education has been a source of great pride and one of the factors contributing to the quality of life in our community. The Southeast of Saline Education Foundation works in partnership with the USD 306 School District and the community that it serves to maximize student potential, thereby creating a lasting legacy, not only for our children, but for our community. The Southeast of Saline Education Foundation salutes the Trojan Sports Program.
Fall is the absolute best time for the experts at Commercial Tire Centers to look over your vehicle. Summer was tough on your tires, and winter's coming on strong. You don't want to be left stranded with tires that aren't performing. Car, truck, SUV, trailers, farm, and big rigs. Commercial Tire will help you keep safe and productive. Commercial Tire Centers, West Crawford and North 9th in Salina.
Commercial Tire Centers, where service is everything.
APAC Kansas Incorporated has been building the Heartland from the ground up for over a century. From the supply of aggregate materials, hot mix asphalt, and concrete to the construction of roads and bridges, we do it all. You've seen our trucks, and now we want to hire you. APAC in Salina is growing, and we are hiring for all positions. From truck drivers to mechanics, general laborers, and construction, APAC has your next career. For more details, visit the job links page at salinapost.com. Great pay and benefits, APAC is an equal opportunity employer.
At Vernon Jewelers, we are celebrating 140 years of our family serving yours, serving you with the best in prices, quality, and the service to back it up. You can trust us for your unique custom pieces and any repair you may need. And just because we've been around for 140 years doesn't mean we are old and out of touch. It just means we're really good at what we do. Now is the time to shop for the holiday. Come see us in downtown Salina and look for the iconic Vernon Jewelers sign on Santa Fe, here for you since 1884.
Are you looking for a local brokerage firm to help you with your Medicare, life insurance, and annuities? L&L Advisors is the #1 local Medicare supplement and insurance specialist. Medicare can be confusing. Let the experts at L&L Advisors help make sense of it. Stop by one of 3 locations in Salina or McPherson and speak to an agent about the needs of your family. L&L Advisors, main office at 717 Roach, right off Crawford, and in the Central Mall Salina and downtown McPherson. Based on honesty and trust, contact L&L Advisors today.
This has been Countdown to Kickoff. The opening kick is right around the corner. It's about to get ugly. Back to the stadium we go for Trojan Football on KINA Sports.
Welcome into Ellsworth High School once again. Countdown to Kickoff brought to you by L&L Advisors. Our friends with 2 offices in Salina and 1 in downtown McPherson, a proud supporter of Countdown to Kickoff. Coin toss going on right now on the field as southeast of Saline getting ready here to take on the Ellsworth Bearcats. 58 degrees at kickoff as we check game conditions. Brought to you by the Kniper Agency of Farmers Insurance. That 58 degrees should fall down to around 50 by the time we're said and done tonight with this football game. And a northeast breeze blowing at 5 to 10 miles an hour. Welcome into the Equity Bank broadcast booth. Devin Haney along with Russ Kossel. Chris Cadle's producing and engineering tonight's contest. And with live stream video on salinapost.com that is free of charge is Trey Tolley, and that's presented by Commercial Tire Centers. Here we go, week number 8 for the 3rd consecutive season. Southeast of Saline and Ellsworth for the 2nd consecutive season. And the 3rd time in the last 4 years, this game being played in Ellsworth, Russ, as southeast of Saline getting ready here to tangle with the Bearcats. There's a lot on the line. And as you kind of go through pregame and think about this contest, hit me with your new image audio keys to success tonight for southeast of Saline.
And I think you're going to get a look at it right off the bat as southeast Saline won the toss and deferred to the second half. We've seen this over the last couple weeks. You have to tackle better. Johnson's going to run the ball right up the middle. He's going to be in the A and B gaps. You got to fill, but you have to make the first tackle. You can't let this young man break one free. And you got to have multiple turnovers, I think, in this game.
Other games all around the area. A lot of people trying to jockey for position and do some important things. On the Eagle Communications Network on Salina Post, you can watch video of Republic County and Sacred Heart. They're playing for playoff position. You can also see Goddard at Salina Central. Other games in the area tonight, Lions at Halstead, Smoky Valley at Hillsboro, Phillipsburg at Minneapolis, Russell at Beloit, Abilene at Wamego, Chapman plays Rock Creek, and also El Saline at Central Plains. Bennington playing Harrington tonight. As we're just about ready to get underway here as you view live stream video. Southeast of Saline wearing their all-white uniforms tonight. White pants, white top with that purple Trojan helmet. Ellsworth coming out in red pants, black top, and a black helmet with the Ellsworth Bearcat on the side. Malachi Hopkins kicks it off. Ellsworth's going to take it at the 15-yard line, angling left to the 20, 30, breaking a tackle. Here come the Bearcats. 40 to midfield at the 50, and a Marion Hollub and James Friesen make the tackle, but the Bearcats will start here in Southeast territory on the return to open the game.
Yeah, Dax Leiker right there coming up and getting that one. It sprung free on the near side. Had a great block on the outside, planted that foot in the ground, and Malachi Hopkins able to bring him down, and you're going to get to see it right here, Devin. Got to tackle better this week.
Ellsworth wants to run the football, and they will lean on their main running back, one of the best in Class 2A. It's Landon Johnson. Quarterback Will Donnelly will be in the shotgun to start. Johnson directly behind him. They'll give it to Johnson to start. He tests this southeast of Saline defense, and he runs into Grady Gebhardt at the line of scrimmage. Might have fallen ahead for a half a yard. That'll bring up second down and long.
And this was a team last week against Beloit and Ellsworth. Carried the ball 31 times, but Devin only 35 yards, averaging 1.1 yard a carry. Less than 70 yards of offense last week for Ellsworth.
It's tough going. Ellsworth has lost their last 2 games. They lost to Beloit last week in that game you're speaking of. 2 weeks ago, they lost to Halstead. They were 6-0 before that. 5-0. Second down and 10 after the run for no gain. Here's Johnson now cutting back, going against the grain. He's got some space and a first down. He's at 20 yards, now 25. Gebhardt and Hopkins have to run him down at about the 20-yard line. It's a big gain of 28 yards for Landon Johnson on his second carry of the game.
Yeah, and that play designed to go left. He got to the second level, put that left foot in the ground, and just bad angles right there by this southeast of Saline defense allowed Landon Johnson to get outside the numbers for a very big gain on second down.
Football sitting at the 20-yard line. Ellsworth on the opening drive of the game. This has been an Ellsworth team that's come into this game in good position the last couple of years, and they have been decimated by southeast of Saline. They want to compete here tonight, and they want to protect their home field. First down and 10 from the 20-yard line. Once again, Johnson directly behind quarterback Will Donnelly. Johnson, that time, hesitated, and he was swallowed up by a white wall of Trojan defenders.
Yeah, Donnelly dropped the ball on the snap. It kind of hit and disrupted all the timing of that play and did everything he could to get that ball to Johnson to really save possession and really save only a loss of 2 to 3 yards right there.
Give him a loss of 3. That'll drive the Bearcat offense back to the Trojan 23-yard line.
And Landon Johnson is dangerous. You look at this guy, he's had over 1,200 yards, 14-plus touchdowns this year, so you definitely have to key on and know where Landon is at all times.
Second and a baker's dozen. It's second and 13 from the 23-yard line. They stay with that same formation, 2 wide receivers to the left. Donnelly turns, hands it off to Johnson. Johnson straight up the middle will go inside of the red zone, inside of the 20-yard line to the 19. He gained 4 yards.
And he is really, when you look at this Ellsworth offense, statistically has been their whole offense. I mean, you look at his stats, and they are substantially above anybody else on this team. But you got to chalk that up to the offensive line springing that for him all year.
Yeah, this is a guy, Landon Johnson, 148 carries coming into tonight, well over 1,000 yards, 1,243, and he's found the end zone rushing the ball 14 times. Third down and 9. Can you still run it here if you're Ellsworth? Trip wide receivers to the right-hand side. Here comes a guy in motion. He'll fill the slot on that right-hand side as they fake it, and Donnelly's going to keep it and pay the price. He will not get back to the line of scrimmage. He will lose 2 yards and a big fourth down coming up as Donnelly that time took a loss of 2 yards. And he is not a runner, Russ. We looked at his stats coming into this game, and he has carried the ball 20 times now on the season and lost 18 yards.
Yeah, just tough going. That play was kind of busted up. It looked like there was some miscommunication in the backfield. We've seen this from Southeast, the bend don't break. We've seen teams drive on them and get right outside the red zone and struggle to do anything with it.
Brody Chambers, Deacon Bear up front. Drew Weller also in there on that defensive line in their third three-point stances. Fourth down and 11. Donnelly wants to throw, spins the ball in his right hand. He's going to fire, and it's going to be almost intercepted. For the third consecutive week, there is Killian Vaughn with that big cast on his right hand. Also out there, Amarion Hollub. Those two ran into each other. Ball falls incomplete. Turnover on downs for the Ellsworth Bearcats. And Coach Gebhardt told us in the pregame they're looking at Killian, getting that cast off his hand or at least reducing it down to some other kind of support. He may have had 3 interceptions right now in 3 weeks if it wasn't for that cast. Here comes the southeast of Saline Trojan offense. Guided by Gannon Jacobson, they're going to go end around out of the gate to Tucker Thaxton. Thaxton spins his way down to the 24-yard line on a gain of 3.
Yeah, and he was tackled out there by Landon Johnson. Caden Berrigan just undersized out there trying to make that block and wasn't allow Grady to get to the outside to spring that one up.
Hopkins, Thaxton, Berrigan, all 3 receivers out to the left-hand side. Grady Gebhardt directly behind Jacobson in a short pistol. They're going to give it to Gebhardt. He's going to test this Ellsworth defense, and he will not gain anything. Third down and 8 coming up now for southeast of Saline as Gebhardt comes up empty on his first carry.
Gebhardt coming in with 71 carries, 594 yards, 5 touchdowns. Kind of asterisk by missed a few games there late or about the middle part of the season.
Went 50 yards on his first carry back last week.
Yeah, didn't miss a beat when he came back.
2 receivers to the left. Gebhardt a protector in the backfield. Jacobson wants to roll left. He'll put the ball up in the air. There's Thaxton, and he will be spun down at the 35-yard line, and a first down for Southeast of Saline on a gain of 11.
And Gannon coming in with 1,036 yards. Obviously, Tucker Thaxton being that number one target for Gannon Jacobson, but this offense now has to start clicking. A little slow start there, and we've seen that in the last couple games. You want to see him get in a rhythm early.
Out to the 35-yard line on that 11-yard pitch and catch. Jacobson to Thaxton. Here's the give to Gebhardt. He is hit in the backfield, and he will go down. He'll lose 2.5 yards. Boy, Ellsworth just shooting the gaps back in there. And this is not a team that is famous for tackles for loss. They have never had very many this season.
Yeah, coming in to this year, they only had three sacks all year and 0 tackles for loss in their last 2 games.
That'll back Southeast of Saline after a loss of 2 back to the 33-yard line.
And 2 teams that they've played that are run heavy in Beloit and Hillsborough, but unable to get tackles for loss.
Second down and 12 from the 33. Jacobson, little bubble screen out to the left. Catching it with some momentum this time is Thaxton, and he might have fought his way all the way out to the 45 for a first down. Nifty running after the catch over on the far sideline, the Southeast of Saline sideline by Tucker Thaxton, and it is a first down. It's a gain of 13.
Tucker coming in, 8 touchdowns, just shy of 500 yards, now looking over 500 yards. Southeast going quick.
Has 13 there. 24 yards on his first 2 catches. Here's Gebhardt. He finds a crease, and that window slams shut. Cooper McGowan in there on the tackle for Ellsworth, and Grady Gebhardt this time got 2 yards on the play.
Yeah, Cooper came down, and that was a big, big collision right there after a short gain of 2. So far, defensive line for Ellsworth outmanning this Southeast of Saline up front.
Football setting at the 48-yard line. Southeast of Saline driving it towards midfield. Here's Jacobson wanting to pass again. That one just took off on him. You could see when it left his hand, that thing had some air underneath it, and that one just took off. It's the first incompletion for Southeast of Saline of the game. Jacobson now 2 of 3, and his offense facing a 3rd down and 8.
And you notice this, Ellsworth is giving these Southeast receivers plenty of room, so those quick outs are right there for the taking. You just, at this point, have to take what the defense is going to give you.
First offensive drive for Southeast of Saline, 6:52 left to go. We are scoreless. Ellsworth turned it over on downs. Here's the fake end around to Thaxton. Jacobson now being under pressure. McGowan in there on him. Jacobson gets out of the pocket and then throws it away. Nobody really in the area that time. Caden Berrigan on further down the sideline, but it's another incompletion here for Southeast of Saline, who's facing 4th down and 8 at midfield.
And I think right here you're going to leave the offense on the field, call another play. That was really the first 3rd down stop we've seen is, okay, I'm wrong. They're going to bring the punt team on, and Evan Watkins will go back to punt.
Evan Watkins coming onto the field here, along with the punt unit.
And I think here, Devin, you got to keep this away from Dax Leiker, who is back to receive this kick.
Leiker, one of the guys, so to speak, on this team. Their main receiver, also their main return guy. Here's Watkins' punt, bouncing at the 23. It's going to take a Southeast bounce to the 15, now to the 10, and it will come to rest just inside of the 10-yard line. What a punt that time by Evan Watkins. Leiker stayed away from it, and Ellsworth will have bad field position here to start out just inside of their own 10-yard line.
And for Evan Watkins, a guy we really don't see throughout the year drop back and punt that much, as Southeast really doesn't do that. Probably we've seen him punt more this year than we have in the past couple, but you know, for a guy who doesn't get a lot of work in in-game activity, sure does a whale of a job back there kicking it, putting it inside the opponent's 15-yard line.
These two teams now exchanging empty drives. The first time they've touched the ball, Ellsworth drove it down inside the 20, turned it over on downs. Southeast of Saline got to midfield and punted it away. Ellsworth now will start out just inside of their own 10-yard line. 2 wide receivers to the left. McGowan will go in motion. He will set up in the backfield with 3 running backs. They will turn, they will give it once again to Johnson, and he will get maybe a yard falling forward on the play.
Yeah, much better job there of going with the motion. And as soon as McGowan went in motion and got set up, the offside corner came up and just filled the gap over there. As it looks like it's Bryson Lippold was able to come up and fill that C gap and fill it so they did not get any more yards.
Killian Vaughn, Grady Gebhardt, Canyon Douglas, Evan Watkins, Malachi Hopkins, Gannon Jacobson, Tucker Thaxton, Bryson Lippold will complete your defense along with the guys I mentioned earlier in Chambers, Bear, and Weller. Second down and 9 for Ellsworth from their own 11-yard line. Here's Donnelly on the keeper. Nope, this is Tucker Goss. They put him in the backfield. Direct snap to him, and he is going to lose a big chunk of yardage. Back to about the 5-yard line on a loss of, well, they're going to say he made it to the 7. But still, he's going to lose 4 yards.
And Tucker Goss only 34 carries, 200 yards, but 6 rushing touchdowns this year. So he is a threat back there as well. If you're Southeast now, I think you still have to get the pass rush if they drop back to pass, but you have to know where Landon Johnson is at on the field.
3rd and 14. Line of scrimmage is at the 6. Ellsworth with a lot of territory to pick up here. They need to get past the 20 to keep this drive going and have a new set of downs. Shotgun formation, 4 wide receivers, 2 of them in a bunch to the right. Donnelly wanted to look that way. Now he's going to underhand pass it to Goss. Goss has some room, and he's going to have a first down. What a play that time. Ellsworth spread southeast of Saline out, and then a little inside pitch, if you will. It's a completed pass. Now playing quarterback back and forth with Donnelly, and Goss straight ahead this time. Nearly gets to the 30-yard line on a gain of 3.
Yeah, and they've had Donnelly out here at wide receiver on the near side these last couple plays. Goss really not a threat to throw the ball back there at all, so you have to key off and know what position you're in. It looks like Donnelly's going to go back at quarterback in this play.
Out to the 29 is Ellsworth. 2nd down and 7. Donnelly will turn, give it to Johnson. He's going to be wrapped up and taken down in the backfield. Drew Weller coming in, and it looked like his hat was on fire when he came storming through there. And a tackle for loss for southeast of Saline's Drew Weller.
And I'm not sure why the Ellsworth offense is pointing over to the officials like the other side. You should be pointing at your offensive line of why they left the nose tackle unblocked right there. And Drew Weller, I think that's what we see. We talked about it. You got to make the first tackle, and that's exactly what they've been doing. As soon as they've gotten their hands on the ball carrier, able to bring them down.
That's a loss of 7 yards. We'll bring up 3rd down and 15. Football all the way back to the 22-yard line. What a play by Weller. Came from the left end spot that time. Chambers on the right end for this snap. Donnelly wants to pass. Under some pressure, gets out of trouble momentarily, and then he is sacked. Back at the 22, he nearly made it to the line of scrimmage. Deacon Bear in there for southeast of Saline.
Yeah, they're going to give him about 1 yard on that carry, but Deacon doing a phenomenal job of coming off the block. He put a nifty spin move right there on the center for Ellsworth and spun right back into the play. More importantly, brought him down in first contact.
On now for the punt will be Landon Johnson. Little bit of heat. This ball's going to pop straight up in the air and come down and bounce short of the 50-yard line, then take a big bear count bounce, and it's going to come to rest right by the 35-yard line. So southeast of Saline's defense once again does its job, and they will get the ball back for their offense right about the 35-yard line.
And it's a defense that's really done its job all year. You know, you get out there and you have the bend, don't break. You're on the field a lot, but your offense has got to get something going. In the last 2 games, really a slow start that took about the whole first quarter to get momentum going for Southeast.
See what southeast of Saline can do here offensively as they have the ball back. 2:23 left to go. We went scoreless last week in the first quarter, which is a rarity for Southeast football. Jacobson wants to throw, rips it left-hand side. Thaxton has it at the 40. Now he's going to turn, run it upfield, and he might have a first down. Let's see where the spot is here, and they will give it to him on a gain of 11 out to the 46. Gain of 11 yards, once again, Jacobson to Thaxton, who has been his only target so far.
And giving Thaxton probably 15 yards on the far side of the field.
Ball at the 46-yard line. Southeast ready to go once again. 2 wide receivers to the right. They will run Gebhardt that way. He'll stutter step, hit the crease, get across midfield, and run it to the Ellsworth 47-yard line.
And a very patient run by Grady right there. It looked like he was going to turn the accelerator up, kind of push the clutch in a little bit, waited for one block, and then just released it and got up for another 3 yards.
Gain of 7 on the play. In Ellsworth territory for the first time is Southeast. Gebhardt right up the gut. He is going to be close to first down yardage. Right at the sticks here, about the 43, and they're going to say it's a first down. Gain of 4.
And I think, Devin, when you look at the passing game, when we stand here and look at the corners, they're only giving a bunch of room over there to Thaxton. All the other receivers are bunched up close with the defenders.
First down and 10. Jacobson sneaks it into the belly of Gebhardt again. He started middle. Now he's going to bounce it out left. Collides with Landon Johnson, and he'll get to the 39-yard line. Another gain of 5 for Grady Gebhardt. 6 carries, 16 yards for the junior. Football at the 40.
Offensive line doing a much better job on this drive of moving the defensive line of Ellsworth 1 to 2 yards back from the line of scrimmage, allowing Grady to get positive yards before he has contact.
Berrigan and Douglas split out to the right. Jacobson wants to go left. He was looking at Thaxton. Now he's going to be under pressure. In the backfield, he's going to turn around and throw it back that way where Thaxton was at. Thaxton ended up in the hash mark as he came on the inside, and Jacobson threw it away over to the bench area over on the southeast of Saline sideline.
I think they wanted intentional grounding possibly over there, but it was intended for Tucker Thaxton, but just a good job. Gannon had a free blitzer on him right there after the pump fake and did a good job of getting out of the pocket and just getting rid of that ball.
From the 40, 3rd down and 7 for southeast of Saline. 40-yard line in Bearcat territory. Here's the snap. Goes to Gebhardt. He is tackled up high around the collar. And in there on the tackle is Cooper McGowan that time. Gain of 3 by Gebhardt. Still 4th and 4.
Yeah, Kendall Minimum with a great block right there on the defensive end, just burying him down into the turf.
From the 42, 37. Jacobson a long stare over to the sideline. As they're going to have to get one more off here at the end of the quarter.
Thaxton got a lot of room on the far side.
Here's the fake to Gebhardt. Jacobson's going to keep it, and Gannon Jacobson straight ahead will have the first down, and that will be the last play of the first quarter. They're going to move the chain, see if southeast of Saline wants to run another one here after the 5-yard gain by Gannon Jacobson on his first carry of the night. And it looks like southeast of Saline might let it go ahead and go to quarter here. 6 seconds left, and they will. We will take a break at the end of the first quarter. Southeast of Saline and Ellsworth 0-0 here at Shanelec Field on the campus of Ellsworth High School. You're listening and watching Southeast of Saline Trojan Football with the Bearcats of Ellsworth, and it's presented by Commercial Tire Centers.
The hours of drills, the pre-dawn workouts, the hundreds of laps, works just as hard to get you back in the game. Salina Regional Sports Medicine, 785-452-7366. SalinaRegionalSportsMedicine.com.
Hey Trojans fans, this is Angela Gebhardt, proud wife of Southeast Saline head coach Mitch Gebhardt. Just like the Trojans strive for excellence on the field, the Bank of Tesket goes the extra mile to offer top-notch checking accounts that fit your style. Whether you're managing your day-to-day expenses or planning for the future, our checking accounts are easy, convenient, and tailored for you. Plus, with your local roots and friendly service, we're here to support you every step of the way. Go Trojans!
And see what that is.
You wonder if you're going to have an illegal lineman.
And see what that is.
You wonder if you're going to have an illegal lineman downfield on that takes so long. Both teams are still staying out there. Oh.
They're going to say
no flag.
Flag is inadvertent. They're going to pick it up, and the 2-point conversion is good. So we'll take another break. 11:53 left to go here in the second quarter on the first play of the quarter. Southeast of Saline strikes at 8-0 Trojans here on the road on KINA.
We are available when you need us most. I'm Dr. Andrew Westbrook, and I am the sports medicine physician at Maury Clinic. I see patients of all ages and help them come back stronger than ever. From broken bones to joint pain, my team and I are committed to help you do more. For those with sports injuries, come see us at our sports medicine walk-in clinic Monday and Thursday mornings from 8 to 9 a.m. Prevent, recover, and strengthen so you can perform your best. Maury Clinic Sports Medicine. Make your move with confidence.
You are listening to Southeast Trojan Football on KINA Sports.
8-0 southeast of Saline. 2-point conversion thrown to Hopkins on that flag that was inadvertent, picked up by the official. Jacobson to Thaxton, the scoring play of 32 yards, brought to you by Dr. Andrew Westbrook.
Yeah, good 8-play drive right there put together. And I think we saw that this almost exact same thing last week, 0-0, and they come out first play of the second quarter and score a touchdown for 2 weeks in a row now.
Wasn't almost, it was the exact same thing. Here's the kickoff now by Malachi Hopkins, taken at the 26. Ellsworth angling over to the right-hand side. A good block. Landon Johnson unloaded on a Southeast of Saline player. And then Evan Watkins coming in, making the tackle for Southeast of Saline. There with him to make the tackle for the Trojans was Kendall Miniman.
Yeah, good return there by Jackson Manier. Got it on the far side and came all the way across the field. And if you're going to want a lead blocker, I think a guy like Landon Johnson is a guy you want in front of you.
So Ellsworth with decent field position here. They had a good field position on their opening drive of the night after a big kick return to start this game. They will start out here at their own 39-yard line. Here's the snap. Got a Bearcat in motion. Tucker Goss is going to keep this one as he goes straight ahead, and he's going to get to the 44 on a gain of 5.
Yeah, Goss did a good fake right there to Landon Johnson in the Southeast, especially the first guy there just committed to number 4, which I think you have to do. You just got to hope that guy can fill behind you when you commit in that little modified triple option look that they run.
Ellsworth really doing a nice job of keeping this Southeast defense on their heels here to start out. 2nd down and 5 here after the 5-yard gain by Goss. Ball at the 44-yard line. Snap it back. It's Goss again, this time to Johnson. Little hesitation there. It's going to be a hold on Ellsworth as Johnson angled it out to go out of bounds. He was ran out of bounds that time by Bryson Lippold, but it looked like Drew Weller was buried on a hold.
Yeah, Tyler Conley just tackled him right there at that right guard position, or right tackle position, and just got absolutely buried, hugged down, and held. So a good job by Drew Weller right there. You know you're going to get the hold, but he caused that play to bounce outside, and it would have made the tackle if he wouldn't have been held.
Yeah, when I said the hesitation there by Johnson, he hesitated because Drew Weller was already in his path. Weller off to a good start here in this game, spending a lot of time in the Ellsworth backfield. That'll back him up 10 yards now to the 34-yard line. 2nd down and 15. 3 wide receivers to the left. Donnelly back there at quarterback. That is Goss still. He's going to keep it, and he stumbles ahead and ends up at the 39 after a gain of 5.
I think one thing you got to watch on that right there, I just noticed on that play, you got Bryson Lippold over here on the near side of the field playing that cornerback spot, and he committed to Landon Johnson getting the fake and got sucked inside. So if they give that ball to Landon, he's got free roam to run on the outside. You have to keep outside contained on these guys and force everything back in the middle.
3rd down and 10 for the Bearcats. Red pants, black tops. Line of scrimmage here at the 39. They're back to the original line of scrimmage, trying to overcome that penalty. Snap back to Donnelly. Here's the reverse. They gave it to Johnson. It's a flea flicker. Off the pass, it's going to go up for Goss, and it's broken up. Malachi Hopkins came over and took it out of the air as the ball was intended for Tucker Goss. Hopkins won the battle and slaps it away, incomplete.
And I think you've seen the makeup speed right there from this defense. They did a good job getting pressure on that trick play, but Malachi was beat by probably 6 yards on that play and just dead sprint back to him, but more importantly, turned to find the ball, read the defender's hands perfectly. As soon as he went up, you go up with him.
Really good play. Really, really good play. 4th down and 10 now. Johnson back to punt. He'll put his foot in it. This is a better punt than his first one. He's going to drive Jacobson back to the 13-yard line. He angles right now to the 15-20. Has some space, 25-30. Flag on the play. He's going to go all the way to midfield, all the way down the right-hand sideline. There's Bearcats knocked down everywhere. Jacobson still on his feet. Here comes another flag. This will offset the penalties because that's probably going to be a face mask. And Jacobson all the way into the end zone, of course, not celebrating because he saw all the flags that we're going to have to sort out.
And I'm going to call this one and hope I'm right. The first flag that came back way at the 30 might have been a blindside block coming back away from your end zone. Ian Nicholson picked up a huge block over there, but he did have to turn his back and come this way.
Well, and the second one has to be a face mask, right? Because there's nobody else but Jacobson in the play.
So if that's the case, do they offset and replay the down?
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot to unfold right here in this punt.
Well, they're talking about it right now. Got a zebra herd going on here at the 25-yard line. That play seemed like it took forever, too.
Yeah, Gannon covered a lot of field.
I mean,
there
was a lot of blocks going on, too. As I said, there were a lot of Bearcats that were down on the ground. Southeast has already stepped their things off, and they have set up camp with their offense back here at the 20-yard line. See where we're at here.
And Mitch wants an explanation as well of what's going to happen here. So I'm at a loss right now of what, if they're offsetting, how this is going to work or where this is going to end up.
Well, it looks like Southeast is setting up shop here to run the offense. Still awaiting the calls. Josh Homolka, the Ellsworth head coach, also having conversations. There's a bad block personal foul on Southeast, a face mask on Ellsworth. They will offset, and they will replay.
So now if you're Gannon Jacobson, just go ahead and go on the sideline after you've ran all that, catch your breath. Now they're going to put Malachi Hopkins back there along with
Tucker Thaxton
as well. So really two more speedsters, probably two faster guys now, as Malachi has a little more speed than Gannon does. So here, we'll try this again and start all over, forget everything we talked about for the last 2 minutes.
It was fun to watch. Here's Johnson again on the punt. This one not as good. It's going to take a watermelon roll and go out of bounds. It's going to run out of bounds about the 30. We'll see where the ref stops it here.
Whoa. Oh, he's going to walk up about the 32?
32. So Southeast will get it back here for their third offensive drive of the night. So far, they have kept Ellsworth off the board through their 3 drives. 9:26 left to go second quarter. It's 8-0 Southeast of Saline. Fast-moving first half.
Well, when you run the ball every time you have it, Southeast completing almost all their passes.
3 wide receivers to the right. They pitch out Gebhardt that way. Gebhardt looking for some blocks, has some space. He's going to have a Southeast first down. Look out, there's more. Broke another tackle to 50, 40, 30, 20, 10. Grady Gebhardt all by himself in the end zone with 2 blockers, and Southeast of Saline on the board once again.
68 yards. Grady Gebhardt earned every bit of that run. Broke 2 tackles, one about 6 yards past the line of scrimmage and one about midfield where he was completely wrapped up, almost taken to the ground. That young man's feet never stopped moving. Break the tackle, shake off the would-be tackler, march it into the end zone. What a great, great opening play right there on that drive by Southeast of Saline.
As you said, Russ, 68 yards to pay dirt down the right-hand sideline, now going for 2. They're going to put it in the belly here of Tucker Thaxton. He's going to dip in, now check back around, dive for the pylon, knock it down, and they're going to say no. They're going to say he was out of bounds before he got there. But Grady Gebhardt goes ahead and he puts 6 more points up for Southeast of Saline as the Trojans take a lead, 14-0. From the Equity Bank broadcast booth in Ellsworth, this is Trojan Football.
The Trojans are experts in precision passes, and Everhart Precision Ag are your experts in grid soil sampling. Everhart Precision Ag does all the sampling and data analysis in-house, keeping it local and close to the farm. They're also your local channel seedsman, selling all seeds with an emphasis in corn and soybeans. Trust Matt Everhart and Lane Hensley at Everhart Precision Ag, serving Saline, Dickinson, McPherson, and Ottawa counties, and also supporting Southeast of Saline Trojans. For more information, visit everhartprecision.com.
You are listening to Southeast Trojan Football on KINA Sports.
A 1-play drive, 68 yards on the run by Grady Gebhardt. Southeast of Saline has taken a 14-0 lead. Waiting the kickoff from Malachi Hopkins. It's going to bounce at the 20. Take a good Southeast bounce. Landon Johnson will have to corral it. Now he has some space coming up to the 30, 35, and then drugged down there by Southeast of Saline's Caden Berrigan at the 36-yard line. Good job there by KB to make a difference on that tackle.
And Ellsworth has had good starting field position, all but that one drive on the great punt by Evan Watkins. They just haven't been able to do anything with it. That first drive, they marched down and got right outside the red zone. Turnover on downs, a punt, turnover on downs. You got to get something going. This team is not built to come from behind.
Stay with us at halftime. We will catch up on Southeast of Saline volleyball, who is in the postseason. Head coach Juliana Yanez will join us here at the halftime. Tyler had a chance to check with her earlier today. Ellsworth now down 14-0, first down and 10. There should have been a flag there. Finally, it comes out after A good portion of the Southeast defense pointed it out, and that'll back the Bearcats up on a stumble there from one of the up-front blockers behind the offensive line. Bo Kyler just kind of came out of his stance there. That'll back the Bearcats up to the 32.
And it's like he came in motion to get set, and then he leaned too far and had to take that extra step forward towards the line of scrimmage. But Ellsworth has spent a lot of this game playing from behind the sticks on early downs.
And this will do it to them once again. 1st and 15, starting a new drive. Their 4th one of the game. 9:05 left to go here in the second quarter. Bearcats come to the line of scrimmage. 2 wide receivers dispatch out left. Pistol formation once again for Ellsworth. Donnelly will give it to Johnson, and he is buried right out of the gate at the 30-yard line. Killian Vaughn, Brody Chambers, both in there for Southeast of Saline with the tackle back at the 30. It's a loss of 2.
Yeah, Brody Chambers right there just put on a move on that would-be blocker up front for Ellsworth, and just met him right as soon as he got the handoff. And then here come the cavalry right behind him.
The last 2 carries for Johnson, he's lost 9 yards. Of his 7 carries tonight, 4 of them have gone for no or negative yardage. 2nd down and 17. 1 wide receiver on each side. They go back to Johnson, steps through the line of scrimmage this time, and he will get to the 34-yard line on a gain of 4.
We talked about it last week. This Ellsworth team carried the ball 31 times. They want to run the ball, but didn't get anywhere. You carry it 31 times and get 35 yards. I'm not good at math, but that's just a little over a yard a carry.
Good job.
All by myself.
Yeah, 34-yard line now. It's 3rd down and long. 3rd and about 14. 3 wide receivers. All go out to the left-hand side. Donnelly's your quarterback. Goss in the slot. Donnelly spins that ball in his right hand. Puts one out in the slot area this time, and it's going to be batted down incomplete. Another good job by that Southeast Trojan defense. Gannon Jacobson, Kenyon Douglas there in the area for Southeast of Saline, along with Killian Vaughn.
Yeah, and it looked like that was intended for Jackson Manier, and they had Bo Kyler out there as well. It looks like they were trying to run a little rub route and run all the defense into each other. Well, when Bo Kyler did that, he tried to run into one of the Southeast players and absolutely blew the play up.
Again, we'll see Malachi Hopkins and Tucker Thaxton back on defense. They'll be standing about their own 25, 30-yard lines. A little bit of heat here on Johnson as he punts his football. It's going to stay in bounds. Take a hard bounce to Hopkins. He'll angle out to the right-hand side after taking it at the 23. All the way back to the 20. Now turns the corner. 25, 30, 35. There's a flag on the play as Malachi Hopkins ran out of bounds at the 37-yard line.
And it's probably going to be another flag on Southeast that was in the middle of the field, and Malachi had already ran that one on the outside of the hash. It's either going to be on Holub or Caden Berrigan was right there in the area. So this one will probably go back 10 more yards.
Flag resting right now at the 39. See where Southeast of Saline goes with it here as they're getting ready to start their 4th drive of the game. 7:26 left to go here in the second quarter. 14-0 Southeast of Saline. Live stream video on SalinaPost.com, brought to you by Commercial Tire Centers. It's that time of year where temperature causes your tires to lose tire pressure and inflation. Get them checked. Also check the spare for you. There's no worse thing than to have a flat. You go to put the spare on, it's flat too.
Yeah, we've been in that situation before where we had a spare, but it had air because take it to Commercial Tire and they'll take care of you.
That's right. So this will back Southeast of Saline up now to the 14-yard line, where they will come out and try to assemble another productive drive here. The last one was 1 play. Gebhardt is behind Jacobson. He'll take the football into the second level. He's across the 15 and gets brought down at the 18-yard line. Gain of 4 by Grady Gebhardt.
That time there's no dancing around. Gebhardt got that one and just put the low man wins, and he ran over 2. Kyler being one of them, ran over 2 defenders for Ellsworth right there.
From the 18, 2nd down and 6, 3 receivers to the left-hand side. Jacobson looking that way. He's going to air it out. Has Kenyon Douglas open. Douglas has it. Look out. Kenyon Douglas at the 50. He's going to win this foot race to the 40, 30, 20, 10. Another long touchdown for Southeast of Saline. 82 yards. Jacobson to Kenyon Douglas.
And what a play call right there. I think Gannon noticed that obviously was a drop back pass play, but he waited for that to develop. He let Canyon get 10, 15 yards down the field and probably could have let that one go a couple seconds before he did, but he didn't believe he was that wide open as there was just one guy running with Caden Berrigan at the numbers. What a job by this offensive line to allow Gannon enough time to sit in the pocket and wait for Kenyon Douglas to get down the field to bust that one open for an 82-yard touchdown.
Here's Jacobson, couple of fake handoffs, rolling out to the right, has Gebhardt in front of him, and he'll walk it in with the escort. Gannon Jacobson puts up another 2, and Southeast of Saline has all of a sudden spread this game out to 22-0. A 2-play drive. Kenyon Douglas, the recipient of a long touchdown, as Southeast of Saline extends it here on KINA.
You're telling me your driver can turn you on remotely?
It feels so good. One gentle touch of a handy remote or mobile app and my motor's running. And don't fret, my little pickup pal. New Image Audio installs these inside trucks too.
Oh, yeah.
You'll want it when the winter chill hits. A remote start from New Image Audio for cars, trucks, even diesels. All systems remote and cell phone capable. Nationwide coverage. Get yours at New Image Audio on South Broadway.
In Salina.
You're listening to Trojan Football on KINA Sports.
Welcome back to Ellsworth. It's Bearcat Country tonight, where you will find the last game of the regular season here for Class 2A. Southeast of Saline and Ellsworth, and Southeast of Saline has extended their lead out to 22-0 here over the Ellsworth Bearcats in what has been an offensive explosion here in this second quarter. This game was 0-0 at the end of the first quarter. Southeast of Saline all of a sudden getting everything that they have here in this second. Here's a kickoff by Malachi Hopkins. It'll bounce at the 20. Landon Johnson fumbles it as he tried to pick it up. Now he's going to have to make up for room, and he'll work his way out to almost the 30-yard line, depending on where he steps out of bounds. Fifth drive of the game here for Ellsworth as they will try to get down the field and get points for the first time tonight. Russ is making his way down to the Salina Ortho sideline, where he will meet up with head coach Mitch Gebhardt right before halftime. 6:42 left to go here in the second quarter. Football sitting at the 27 for the Bearcats. They'll go heavy on the left-hand side, 2 wide receivers that way. Snap back to Donnelly. He gives it to Landon Johnson. He comes through already into the second level. Spin move, and Malachi Hopkins will save a big play there. Good tackle by Malachi as Landon Johnson got out to the 43-yard line very quickly. That's his second longest carry of the night of 16 yards for Landon Johnson. First down and 10. Football out to the 43. 2 wide receivers out to the left again. One of them coming in motion from left to right. He'll set up in the backfield. Johnson dancing his way through into the second level again. Jacobson's going to grab him around high, but Johnson gets across the 50-yard line and makes it all the way to the Southeast of Saline 43.
Yeah, in the middle of the field right there, wide open as they kind of went to the outside and filled out, and then he was able to cut that one back up the middle, so you have to plug that A and B gap still if you're Southeast.
First and 10 as he went from the 47 to the 47 that time. Or excuse me, 43 to 43. It was a gain of 14. At the Southeast of Saline 43-yard line. They go back to Johnson. Little counter play off to the right. Tucker Goss took the snap that time from center. And Landon Johnson will make his way to the 38-yard line on a gain of 5. Deacon Barron on the tackle. Football sitting at the 39-yard line. Ellsworth made it inside the red zone. They made it inside the 20-yard line on their first drive of the night, but came away empty after they turned it over on downs. Second down here from the Southeast 38. Again, 3 backs in the backfield. They go back to Johnson, and he's going to get 2 yards to the 37. Third down and 5 coming up for Ellsworth.
Another big third down here for Southeast. If you can somehow come away with this stop, they're obviously going to leave the offense on the field in this part, so you need to come away with 2 more stops right here, just like you did on the first drive of the game in a similar situation.
37-yard line, 3rd down and 5 coming up here for Ellsworth. Clock down to 4.5 minutes left to go in the second quarter. Ellsworth breaks the huddle. 3 wide receivers go out to the long side of the field, left-hand side. Ball's on the right hash. Johnson will be at the left hip. Tucker Goss. Goss now will step to the right. Johnson will take the direct snap. He'll follow Goss through the line of scrimmage and make it just inside of the 35 to the 34-yard line. So a little tricky shift there in the backfield, Russ, for Ellsworth.
Yeah, as soon as that shift happened, though, the defense from Southeast of Saline was all over it. Immediately shifted over to that side of the field where they shifted to and filled that hole and probably prevented that play from going any further.
4th down and a healthy yard here for Ellsworth now. Ball setting just inside of the 35-yard line. They need to get about another 1.5 yards to move the chains. 4th down. See what this Southeast defense can do here. They have 1 wide receiver to each side. Hard count by Ellsworth. Nobody moving for Southeast as of yet. They take another jab and hard count them and nothing there. And Ellsworth will call a timeout. We'll take it as well. 3:24 left to play here in the second quarter. A 4th down for the Bearcats when we come back from the Equity Bank broadcast booth. This is Trojan Football.
Feel your home is more than just a house. It's where memories are made and moments are cherished. Though life can be complicated, house cleaning shouldn't be. Mary Maid strives to take the stress out of your day so you can live your life your way. With more than 40 years experience and an advanced time-tested cleaning process, they can help you reclaim time with your loved ones. Find Mary Maids on Facebook or check out their website at marymaids.com.
You're listening to Trojan Football on KINA Sports.
Back in Ellsworth, week number 8 of the high school football season. Keep it tuned right here at halftime. We'll check in with Southeast of Saline Volleyball in their postseason, see how things have been going with Coach Yanez. That's coming up at a halftime. Brought to you by 1L Garrettson at Salina Homes. Also want to remind you, Southeast of Saline's Booster Club helps bring you live coverage to showcase exceptional student activities and build that purple power. It is always a great day to be a Trojan. Big 4th down here for the Ellsworth Bearcats. 4th down, about 1.5 yards, as they will line up here with 2 backs in the backfield, including Goss. And now movement up front as somebody shifted there for the Bearcats, and that's going to cost them 5 yards. So now all of a sudden, this 4th down and about 1 is going to go to 4th down and about 5.5 or 6.
Yeah, it looked like it was a left guard right there, number 58 for Ellsworth, who, as soon as Southeast went to that shift mode that they've been doing all year, kind of jumped back a little bit and came out of his stance.
Boy, that's a killer there for the Bearcats if you're trying to pick this up, and now they're going to huddle up. Looks like their intentions are still to go for it with 3:24 left to go here in the first half. We'll check area scores for you coming up at half on the Bennington State Bank scoreboard. Ellsworth has the play. See what the Bearcats can do here. Ball sitting just inside of the 40-yard line. 4th down and about 6.
I think you're going to have a delay of game right here.
Yeah, they took way too long there. And they're going to cost themselves another 5 yards. So now this will move the football back to the 44. Boy, you said it early on. This Ellsworth team tonight, they're just playing behind the 6, so to speak.
And you had that one. Now it looks like they're going to bring in pump formation. Landon Johnson's going to come out now. You got to pay attention here, as this guy is a threat to run the football.
Jacobson will be the only one to go back for Southeast of Saline. Everybody else playing defense here up front for the Trojans. They are very leery of this as well. Here's the snap and the punt. Johnson does kick it away. It's going to bounce at the 10 and then take a really, really good angle, and it's going to be down inside of the Ellsworth 5-yard line. It's going to hop out of bounds at about the 4. So Southeast of Saline has their work cut out for them here, but their last 2 drives have been a 1-play drive and a 2-play drive. So we'll see what the Trojans have up their sleeves here, already leading 22-0 with 3:16 left to go. Southeast of Saline, all 3 of their timeouts remaining. They will have to start this one inside of the 5.
Your playbook's wide open right here. You talked about it, 3 timeouts, still 3:16. The last 2 drives have been 3 plays combined, so everything wide open right here.
Hopkins, a loner to the left, 2 wide receivers to the right. They go to Gebhardt to try to get him out of this hole here. He has hit once and then hit a second time, but then twists off that hit and takes it ahead to the 9-yard line on a gain of 5.
And that might have been a loss of 2 if it wasn't for Drew Weller coming over and making a key block, pulling from that left guard position.
Grady Gebhardt knocking on the door of 100 yards already unofficially. Football setting at the 9. 2nd down and 5. Pitch out, Gebhardt, right-hand side. He's looking for a crease, and he picked the wrong door that time. He will still get about a yard or 2. They're going to say he got to the 11-yard line after he gains 2.
Did you see who was past the first down stick, who hasn't even made it back to the huddle yet? It's Brody Chambers. He's 15 yards down the field driving his guy almost to the 30.
Color me not surprised.
Not at all.
3rd down and 3 now from the 11 for Southeast of Saline. Clock down to 2:22. Left to go here in the second quarter. 2 receivers to the right. Jacobson with a long count here. Now a brief stare over to the sideline. He's going to reset Bryson Lippold, who's in front of him as an extra blocking back. Here's the give to Gebhardt. He's going to spin in the hole, and then he is tackled there, and he is not even close to the first down. It's going to be a couple of yards short, 4th and 2 here back deep in their own territory.
Yeah, he's a full 2 yards short down here right in front of me. So we'll see what Southeast draws up right here. Very gutsy right here to go for it this far deep in your own territory, but I wouldn't be surprised.
Maybe a hard count. Ellsworth tried it to you. Maybe you try it to them. At least running the clock down a little bit here, I think, is the goal for Southeast of Saline. They will get the ball to start second half.
Yeah, Mitch is watching the back judge, waiting for probably him to start counting the 5 seconds here. Probably looking to get a timeout as he's walking over here to the official now.
Yeah, there's no play clocks here. So that's what's going on now, and then Coach Gebhardt will call the timeout, and they will talk about it. Let's go over scores, or at least games that we will update you on as we go through here tonight. From the Bennington State Bank scoreboard, we will keep you updated on a couple of games that are on the Eagle Radio and Eagle Communications network of stations. And on video, you can watch Goddard at Salina Central tonight. That's at Salina Stadium. Also Republic County at Sacred Heart, a couple NCAA schools going at it. Lions is at Halstead. That's from District 6, southeast of Saline's district. Also a non-district game. Hillsboro hosts Smoky Valley. Phillipsburg at Minneapolis. Phillipsburg was the one that knocked off Norton last week and opened the door and a possibility for Southeast of Saline to have the number 1 seed in the West. Russell is at Beloit. Abilene at Wamego. Chapman plays Rock Creek tonight. Salina South is at Mays. El Saline is in Claflin to play Central Plains. And Bennington plays Harrington tonight. Of course, we'll update you as long as we're on the air here with Southeast of Saline, but you can wrap it all up tonight on the Kansas High School Football Scoreboard Show. A full hour of scores and game wraps from across the state of Kansas from 10 until 11 o'clock. Eric Peterson will navigate the waters for you around the state of Kansas as they keep you all up to date and even give you an early preview, I'm sure, on what the playoffs will look like for the first round next week. That is brought to you by the Salina Surgical Hospital. 4th down and 2, a minute 22 left to go here. Southeast of Saline still giving the look here like they're going to go for it. 3 wide receivers off to the left. Gannon Jacobson, maybe in a quick kick situation here. Nope, he's going to run it. Has the ball ready to go, wants to pass it out. Thaxton has it, and then he is drilled, but he hangs on to the football. Tucker Thaxton out to the 24-yard line. It's a gain of 12 on 4th and 2.
And I don't think you know how tough of a catch that was. Thaxton was extended out, midsection exposed, and he hangs on to it after a big hit.
You could just almost see forward in your mind that ball coming free. Jacobson now wants to go again. Passes it late to Gebhardt at the 30. Gebhardt now in open field. He has to deal with a linebacker for Ellsworth, and he's still going to gain 11 yards out to the 35. Southeast of Saline going lightning quick here.
What a gutsy play call, though, on 4th down deep in your own territory.
To the 35, 1st down and 10 for Southeast of Saline. They're in turbo mode right now. Jacobson rips it down the right-hand side. Has a receiver. It's Thaxton at the 37, and he is tackled down to about the 32.
That was another tough catch right there by Tucker Thaxton. That defender came over and timed that perfectly and had his arm in there, and Tucker was able to catch the ball and the defender's arm at the same time.
33 yards for Tucker Thaxton. who continues to pile it on. Now well over 100 yards. Here's nearly a one-handed catch by Thaxton at the 22-yard line. And I bet there's a little bit of Southeast right now that is relieved that he dropped that ball because they get a chance to breathe a little bit. Boy, they have been going fast here. They have two of their 3 timeouts remaining. They've taken the clock down to 35 seconds. And that ball will stop the clock because it was incomplete.
As soon as that ball left Gannon's hands, he immediately put his hands on his helmet, just like the one we saw earlier, just kind of floated out there and came out of his hand wrong. But I'm sure you're exactly right. Nothing hurt with an incomplete pass right there. Stops the clock. Take a breath, still 35 seconds left.
Ball sitting at the 32 in Ellsworth territory. 2nd down and 10. Jacobson wants to throw back to Gebhardt. This went for a touchdown last week. Gebhardt into the second level, running down the sideline, has some space, and he steps out of bounds to stop the clock. A very coach's kid move that time by Grady Gebhardt.
Yeah, and he broke the tackle right there. He was going to be tackled inbounds, possibly short of the first down yardage, and just got out of the would-be tackler and got out of bounds, like you said, to stop the clock. 27.4 left here for Southeast.
That one went for 10 on Gephardt's second reception of the night. They are knocking on the door of the Case IH red zone. Brought to you by Can-Equip at the 22-yard line is southeast of Saline. Jacobson rolling around, dancing with it, being chased by Bearcats. He'll step up in the pocket and then let it go. Trying to throw this one away, I imagine. Caden Berrigan was in the area as it goes out of bounds.
I don't know if he was trying to throw that away. KB broke open late as soon as he got past the numbers, and if there's a little less on that, KB catches that for a first down, possibly turns it upfield for more.
18.9 seconds left here for southeast of Saline. It's 2nd down and 10. Football setting at the 22-yard line. They're just on the door of the red zone. 1 wide receiver to the right, 3 to the left. Jacobson dumps it off in the middle of the field. It's Gebhardt. Gebhardt has to deal with the second level of the Ellsworth defense here, and he'll be gang tackled near a first down, and Mitch Gebhardt goes sprinting down the sideline to call a timeout. We will keep it right here, and boy, what a drive, Russ. Remember, this thing started back inside of the 5-yard line at the 4 for southeast of Saline.
Yeah, and went for it on a 4th and a healthy 2 inside of their own 10-yard line. And a couple updates into first quarter from the Bennington State Bank scoreboard. I know the big area one, probably the big 8-man game in the state. El Saline at the end of 1 up big on Central Plains, 28-6.
Boy, the Cardinals are humming, aren't they? They are playing very good football right now.
Rock Creek 27, Chapman 6. These are all end of first quarter scores. With 6:21 left to go in Class 2A, the district title on the line, Hoisington and Cimarron. Hoisington up 19-0.
Wow. First down and goal here. Ball sitting at the 9-yard line. Gannon Jacobson has played phenomenal football so far in this game. He has been able to spread it around to 3 different receivers. And so far this southeast of Saline offense hasn't made any mistakes. They came up empty on their first drive, but since then they've been very, very good, including this drive here, where they're working on coming from the 4-yard line on one end of the field and punching it in on the other. 10.8 seconds left, 1 timeout remaining. Jacobson rolling out to the left-hand side as a Bearcat. Now he's going to hit the brakes, come back. He's going to overthrow Grady Gebhardt out in the flat. So that will leave 1 more down with 4.9 seconds left on the clock.
Yeah, and a quick, he's going to go ahead and use this timeout here to probably draw up one last play, maybe something for one of the guys. They wanted Tucker in the back of the end zone there, but it was defended well as he was running a deep out route, probably in the middle of the end zone.
I'm guessing with the schedule that Ellsworth has played this year, they haven't faced anybody capable of this type of explosion and just the neck break type of pace the southeast of Saline can get down the field. They've covered almost 96 yards here, depending on how this drive ends up, and gotten down the field in about a minute, really. I mean, it's been unbelievable how fast they've gotten from one end of the field to the other.
Well, and we've seen, not really the first time this year, but you get an 82-yard pass play on the drive before, 2 plays for a touchdown. The drive before that, you get a 1-play, 60-plus yard run from Grady Gebhardt. So this offense is explosive. We've seen it all year, but you touched on it. Ellsworth just hasn't seen the firepower that El Saline has brought tonight, and we mentioned it early that this Ellsworth team lives and dies by the run. I mean, it's in every film. It's in all the statistics, and they're just not built to come from behind.
So we'll see what southeast of Saline has up their sleeve here. Barring a defensive penalty, it will be the last play of the first half. Southeast trying to expand on their 22-0 lead. 3 wide receivers to the left, a solo to the right. Now Gebhardt will split out on a real wheel route to the right. Jacobson is going to take it and keep it on a handoff, bounces off one tackler, and he's going to get into the end zone. Gannon Jacobson broke a tackle as he got to the linebacker level of Ellsworth, and he's able to score on a 9-yard touchdown run.
And he did everything right there that you want out of a quarterback. He dropped back. He waited. Offensive line had just kind of parted up. He stepped up in the pocket before he took off, saw no receivers, nothing but green grass. What a job by Gannon Jacobson.
So the first drop play and the last play of the second quarter, Southeast is going to score. Now they put it on the 2-point conversion as Jacobson finds Caden Berrigan for the 2-point conversion. And that will be a 30-0 score here as we hit the halftime mark. We await comments on the field coming up with Russ and also head coach Mitch Gebhardt. What a finish to this first half for Southeast of Saline on offense. Defense, well, they're pretty good too. They haven't given up any points yet. 30-0, Southeast of Saline. As we hit the break, let's go down to the field. Here's Coach.
Coach, a lot like last week, a slow start on that first drive of the game, but defense does its job, wakes up. Your thoughts on the first half?
Yeah, I agree. Our defense was a little slow. I thought sluggish tonight to start with, and they got a good run game. And we gotta get up to game speed, I guess. And maybe we need to do things faster in practice. I don't know, but I felt like after we got up to game speed and got things moving, our defense did a nice job.
I think the difference, obviously, in this first half is explosive plays. You've seen Grady with a 60-plus yard run, an 82-yard, and then that drive, that gutsy call to go for it on 4th down deep in your own territory.
Yeah, it's we got an option on that, but I'm not sure on the 12-yard line if it's real smart. But we took it. We took it. I mean, he did. Gannon did exactly what he was coached to do, depending on what he sees. So, and luckily we pulled that out, and then we had a nice drive. That's good for us to have to drive the length of the field, and we still had a timeout left when we got done. So that was a nice drive by our boys there.
And get the ball to start the second half, Coach. Good luck.
Thank you.
Devin.
Thank you very much. Russ on the field there with head coach Mitch Gebhardt, brought to you by Frisbee Construction. 30-0 when we hit the break here at halftime. We'll step away for the Knopf Auto and Truck Accessories halftime report. When we come back, Southeast of Saline volleyball. After the break, halftime is here. Southeast 30, Ellsworth 0. From the Equity Bank broadcast booth, halftime is here on KINA.
Truck Accessories. Everything to bling out your ride in one place, including top quality lift kits, wheels and tires, bumpers, Jeep accessories, fender flares, bed covers, bed liners, step bars, even custom painting. Knopf Auto is the and soil dealer and has many synthetics and filters in stock. Visit Knopf Auto on Facebook for specials, great ideas, and let them make your truck stick out in a crowd. Knopf Auto and Truck Accessories, supporting the Southeast of Saline Trojans.
The Bennington State Bank proudly supports local sports and wants each student to know that their hard work and talent is noticed and appreciated. At Bennington State Bank, they care about local communities and are committed to fostering long-term relationships through the delivery of excellent customer service, integrity, and fairness. From helping local businesses to supporting community youth and nonprofits to helping you purchase your dream home or invest in your future, Bennington State Bank is here to help. Give them a call to experience exceptional banking with hometown service. Bennington State Bank, your trusted hometown bank. Member FDIC.
At Maury Clinic Sports Medicine, we are available when you need us most. I'm Dr. Andrew Westbrook, and I am the sports medicine physician at Maury Clinic. I see patients of all ages and help them come back stronger than ever. From broken bones to joint pain, my team and I are committed to help you do more. For those with sports injuries, come see us at our sports medicine walk-in clinic Monday and Thursday mornings from 8 to 9 a.m. Prevent, recover, and strengthen so you can perform your best. Maury Clinic Sports Medicine. Make your move with confidence.
Fall is the absolute best time for the experts at commercial tire centers to look over your vehicle. Summer was tough on your tires, and winter's coming on strong. You don't want to be left stranded with tires that aren't performing. Car, truck, SUV, trailers, farm, and big rigs. Commercial Tire will help you keep safe and productive. Commercial Tire Centers, West Crawford and North 9th in Salina.
Commercial Tire Centers, where service is everything.
The hours of drills, the pre-dawn workouts, the hundreds of laps. It takes hard work, passion, and drive to do what you love. When you're sidelined by injury, Salina Regional Sports Medicine is just as committed and works just as hard to get you back in the game. Salina Regional Sports Medicine, 785-452-7366. SalinaRegionalSportsMedicine.com.
It's third down and 8 for the Trojans. They really need to make the right call here.
During the football game, it's crucial to make the right call. And in real estate, one call can bring a positive outcome from your real estate experience. Whether you're looking for real property, upsizing to make room for the family, downsizing, or acquiring investment property, call Winnell Garrettson at Salina Homes.
What a call! Touchdown, Trojans!
Buy or sell, call Winnell.
This is the Trojan Halftime Report. Coming up, a first half recap, stats, interviews, and a look at other area games. Let's head back to the stadium for Trojan Halftime on KINA.
Back here on the Knopf Auto and Truck Accessories Halftime Report. It's Tyler Henry, and it's time now to catch up with Juliana Yanez, head volleyball coach at Southeast of Saline. Our conversation presented by Winnell Garrettson at SalinaHomes.com. Coach, thank you so much for taking some time out of your day and talking with us here this afternoon.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for having me.
So you guys finish out the regular season 16-18 overall. Now that you've had, kind of a full year to see your team in action, what would you say has been just kind of the overall takeaway you've taken from this regular season?
Overall takeaway is we are a pretty mental team, but we overcome it whenever the time is right and when we need to. Especially right now, we ended season on some wins, so now we're kind of going to postseason.
Well, and that actually maybe leads me into my next question. What would you say are the biggest challenges that this team has faced this year, and how have you seen the team rise to meet those challenges?
I think our biggest challenge is injuries and exhaustion. We don't have a lot of girls, so trying to get them well rested and hydrated for the next game or for what's coming next is our biggest battle, especially with how busy season is. But I think that's our biggest challenge.
Overall, when you look at, especially the team that you have going into a huge sub-state tournament this weekend, what would you say now that you've had a full season under your belts is kind of the biggest strength of this team that you guys can hang your hat on week in and week out?
The biggest strength, I would say, is how they come together and depend on each other. I think they're more than just family. I think it's more than that. They've grown up together. They've played ball with each other for years, and I think they really see that and find confidence within each other.
Where would you say you've seen kind of the most growth in this team from your first match to your last couple of matches here?
The most growth, I think, would be confidence. I think overall, we had a stint where we were losing, but we couldn't figure it out. And then finally we clicked and have all the confidence in the world and belief in each other that we can do what we need to do this weekend.
Well, and fundamentally, when you talk about the volleyball that takes place on the floor, what are the biggest improvements that you still feel like the team needs to make if you guys are going to survive and advance through the sub-state?
I just think serve receive. Everyone can always improve on serve receive and communication. That's the biggest part of volleyball. If you can't pass, you can't play.
Let's talk about the season in three parts, because it really does feel like this has been kind of a three-part act, and the finale's coming up here. Let's start with the beginning of the season. You guys got off to a really, really strong start. You start the season 10-4. During that time, what were the things that you felt like were really kind of clicking for the team as you guys opened up the new year?
I think the things that were clicking was our offense. We were really clicking on offense, and our passing was great, and then we were having fun believing in each other, and we weren't really tested yet. We were kind of just going through the motions, and then, yeah.
Well, unfortunately, this is not the stretch that you guys are still currently on. We'll talk about that in just a second, but a 3-13 lull there in the middle of the year. What do you feel like kind of happened, or maybe what went wrong during that stretch?
I think we just weren't clicking. We were trying to change things up so everybody could play, and I think that's kind of what messed things up as well, is moving too many players into too many different positions and not having that comfortability that we have with each other usually in the positions that we're used to. I think that's kind of what happened, and just losing after another, sometimes it takes a toll on your confidence. So I think that kind of shut us down a little bit as well.
Well, and I think it would have been more concerning had you not bounced back, but you guys have. You guys finish out the year, you win 3 out of 4 matches. How big is that just for some momentum and some confidence going into elimination volleyball here?
I think it's great. I think overall volleyball it's not how you start, it's how you finish, and this is the way to start the end of the season.
Where is kind of the team at right now in that locker room, just mentally as you guys head into, like I said, the biggest games of the year, but knowing what you guys are capable of, especially after that strong start?
I think they're in a pretty good spot. I think they're just taking it all in because most of our players are seniors, so they're enjoying every moment, living it to the best of their ability.
Overall, who are some of the players? I know we talked about this early in the year, but that was, just a few matches into the season. Who are some players now that you've had the full season that have really just kind of impressed you with what they've been able to do?
I say Abby Wyatt's one of our strongest defenders. She's always vocal, always confident, and always positive. Wingo's always strong at the net, and so is Macy. They're really our biggest hitters overall, and we can really depend on them when it comes time to compete.
You hear it all the time. You do have to get a little bit lucky when it comes to the postseason, and it's not always equal necessarily. I was curious to get your thoughts on the field that you guys got placed in. Halstead, Wichita Trinity, and Heston. Those are the 3 teams that you guys will be competing with for a chance to move on to the next round. When you look at the field that you're placed with here at Sub-State, how do you feel about just the level of competition that you guys will be facing?
I feel like the level of competition's pretty up there for us than what we normally see on a day-to-day basis, but I think that we're ready to compete and we're here for it.
Well, and your team actually took on Halstead. They come in as the 1 seed. That's the team that you guys will face tomorrow on Saturday. When you take a look at Halstead, it's a team that you faced earlier this season. What are the biggest takeaways that you kind of pulled from that match as you guys go into kind of a rematch here with them?
Just a whole mental reset. Every team is different, and every chance you step on that court is a different outcome. So as we reset our defense, reset our offense, we kind of put some things into play after watching some stats. We will come out stronger if we play together.
Fundamentally, what are some things that Halstead does really well that you remember from that first match that your team will have to kind of be on top of here?
Fundamentally, they are really strong at their offense. They know how to place the ball in places that our defense are not. So just kind of changing up defense for us to make that work on our end.
And then last thing for you here, Coach, but overall, what would you say are the biggest keys, not just to the match with Halstead, but hopefully for a Sub-State championship match after that as well, for your team to pull out 2 big ones and move on to the next round?
I would just say our biggest takeaway, we just need to be a family and support each other.
Sounds good. Well, Coach Yanez, thank you again so much for stopping by. Best of luck to your team down at Halstead.
Thank you so much.
That was SES head volleyball coach Juliana Yanez. Our conversation presented by Juanel Garrettson at SalinaHomes.com. Her squad headed to take on a Sub-State tournament this Saturday. Coming up next, more of the Knopf Auto and Truck Accessories halftime show and the second half between Southeast and Ellsworth. It's right around the corner right here on KINA.
You're telling me your driver can turn you on remotely?
It feels so good. One gentle touch of a handy remote or mobile app and my motor's running. And don't fret, my little pickup pal. New Image Audio installs these inside trucks too.
Oh, yeah.
You'll want it when the winter chill hits. A remote start from New Image Audio for cars, trucks, even diesels. All systems remote and cell phone capable. Nationwide coverage. Get yours at New Image Audio on South Broadway.
In Salina.
Fall is the absolute best time for the experts at commercial tire centers to look over your vehicle. Summer was tough on your tires, and winter's coming on strong. You don't want to be left stranded with tires that aren't performing. Car, truck, SUV, trailers, farm, and big rigs. Commercial Tire will help you keep safe and productive. Commercial Tire Centers, West Crawford and North 9th in Salina.
Commercial Tire Centers, where service is everything.
Pickup truck, sports car, motorcycle, minivan, townhouse, 2-story, farmhouse, fixer-upper. What you drive and where you live is different for everyone, so it's important to have insurance that fits your needs and is just right for you. At Shelter Insurance, we understand that, which is why our agents help you design a comprehensive auto, home, and life insurance plan. Insurance that fits just right.
Hey, Salina, come see us at the Kelly Kitchener Agency near the intersection of Cloud and Ohio. We want to be your Salina, Kansas insurance agent.
Whether on the field, court, or operating room, experience matters. A coach loves an experienced team, just like a patient values an experienced doctor. Salina Ortho has ABOS board-certified physicians with over 50 years of combined service. If you need help staying active, or maybe you just want to discuss the newest techniques and services that Salina Ortho provides, or you want to see one of their trusted physicians, visit salinaortho.com. Come see Salina Ortho, your voice, your choice, past, present, and future.
You are listening to Southeast Trojan Football on KINA Sports.
Welcome back in here. It's halftime, brought to you by Knopf Auto and Truck Accessories. 30 points in one quarter. That's what Southeast of Saline did in the second quarter after we played through a scoreless opening quarter of play. It's 30-0 here at halftime. Southeast of Saline leading Ellsworth. Let's go over stats for you from the first half. Gannon Jacobson so far. Welcome to the Gannon Show. 10 of 16, 228 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. He also has a rushing touchdown. Grady Gebhardt knocking on the door unofficially of 100 yards, 12 carries, 99 yards, and a touchdown for him already. Grady also has 34 yards on 3 catches. Kenyon Douglas, a touchdown on an 82-yard touchdown reception. Tucker Thaxton, a touchdown, 6 receptions, 112 yards already. For Ellsworth, they're being led by Landon Johnson, 13 carries, 66 yards. They do have 20 yards passing as Will Donnelly went to Tucker Goss. Final numbers for you from the first half. Ellsworth, 74 yards rushing, 20 yards passing, 94 yards of total offense. Southeast of Saline, 116 yards rushing, 228 yards passing, 344 yards of total offense in the first half for Southeast of Saline. And that last key drive, brought to you by Dr. Andrew Westbrook at Maury Clinic Sports Medicine, was a 96-yard drive. It took 3 minutes, 16 seconds in 11 plays. And as Coach Gebhardt said to us, they still had a timeout left.
Yeah, he was real keen to remind me on that they still had one left. And just a good read right there. It's an option read for Gannon on that punt or run the play, and he read it perfect. They give Tucker plenty of room once again on that outside, and you got to go for it. And I think in this first half, what we've seen better from Southeast than we saw in the last 2 weeks is tackling. They have tackled much better tonight, getting him down on first contact.
And if you're Ellsworth, you got to feel like maybe that first half was a Jekyll and Hyde first half. Like, first quarter, you got to feel pretty good about yourself. You've had the ball, you've driven it into Southeast of Saline territory, even got in the red zone on your first drive of the game, but then all of a sudden, second quarter, things get away from you, and you start giving up big plays as Southeast of Saline is dialing it up, and it's all of a sudden 30-0 here at halftime. We'll take a quick timeout here. We'll take 90 seconds. And when we come back, Russ will update you on the Bennington State Bank scoreboard. We'll also start third quarter action for you from the Equity Bank broadcast booth. It's halftime. Southeast of Saline leads at 30-0 over Ellsworth here on KINA.
You're telling me your driver can turn you on remotely?
It feels so good. One gentle touch of a handy remote or mobile app and my motor is running. And don't fret, my little pickup pal. New Image Audio installs these inside trucks too.
Oh, yeah.
You'll want it when the winter chill hits. A remote start from New Image Audio for cars, trucks, even diesels. All systems remote and cell phone capable. Nationwide coverage. Get yours at New Image Audio on South Broadway.
In Salina.
When does normal acute pain become abnormal chronic pain? Chronic pain can be one of 2 types, nociceptive and neuropathic. Each type differs based on what causes it, what it feels like, and what treatments may relieve it. Neuropathic pain can often be managed by a therapy called neurostimulation or spinal cord stimulation. If you suffer from chronic pain, ask your primary care physician for a referral to the Salina Pain Clinic. Our pain specialist will discuss the right options to manage your pain. Online at salinapainclinic.org.
When it rains, it pours, so it's important for you to get coverage that meets your needs. The team at Kniper Agency with Farmers Insurance can help you understand your options so you can prepare for what the forecast brings. We know a thing or two because we've seen a thing or two. Learn more by calling Stephanie, Morgan, or Tiffany at the Kniper Agency at 825-8419 to find out how they can help you protect the things that matter most to you.
We are farmers.
Underwritten by Farmers Truck Fire Insurance Exchanges and Affiliates. Products not available in every state.
You're listening to Southeast of Saline Football on KINA.
Just about ready for third quarter action. Check out the Bennington State Bank scoreboard. Russ, take it away.
A couple scores. St. Mary's 18-0 over Sabetha in Class 2A. Another tough one in 2A. Silver Lake 7, Council Grove 6. Norton, what we thought would be a cakewalk for them against Concordia, only up 14-0. Sacred Heart up 20-13 on Republic County at the half. Mays 26, Salina South 0. Wamego 21, Abilene 0. Beloit 32, Russell 0. Phillipsburg 20-7 over Minneapolis. Smoky Valley 8, Hillsborough 7. And then another Saline County game. Probably what we thought was going to be a lot closer. El Saline running away with this thing, 44-12 at the half against Central Plains.
All right.
That was a lot.
Yeah, after the game. Nice job. After the game, of course, the high school football scoreboard show, 10 until 11 o'clock every Friday night. We'll have that for you through state championship weekend right here on KINA. It's brought to you by Salina Surgical Hospital. Ready to kick this one away and get things started. Southeast of Saline will have it. Evan Watkins receives the kick. Turned around, might have looked for somebody to pitch to. Now he's going to keep it in his left hand as he stretches it out to the far side in the Southeast of Saline sideline. Evan Watkins takes it out to the 35-yard line, and that is where this Southeast of Saline offense will start the third quarter.
Keys to the second half on offense, just keep rolling. You got that momentum going finally in the second quarter as Gannon letting the cannon unleash there in the second quarter, throwing the ball really to Tucker Thaxton, and then a couple screen plays to Grady on that last drive. But you got to keep rolling with what's got you here.
228 yards for Gannon Jacobson in that first half. They go back to the run game. Here's Gebhardt straight up the gut. Look out. He takes on a safety, and he's going to be out across the 50 as Grady Gebhardt just trucked an Ellsworth Bearcat and came across midfield to the 48-yard line.
Grady with his 13th carry of the night unofficially, now over 100 yards on the ground.
From the 48. In Bearcat territory already is Southeast of Saline. Jacobson's going to move the back. It's Gebhardt back behind him in the pistol. They go back to Grady. Starts out left, slide step back right, and he's inside the 45 to the 44 after a gain of 4.
Yeah, and you can't ask for much more. If you're getting 4 to 5 yards every carry like you've seen him in the first half, you have to keep Ellsworth, has to stay honest to the run, and that's when that passing game from Gannon and this Southeast offense opens up.
From the 44, second down and 6 in Ellsworth territory. Quick out to Thaxton. Thaxton brushes off a Bearcat would-be tackler, and he's going to have the football out to the 43-yard line. 37-yard line.
I think that was Malachi Hopkins over there on the far side. Just 1-2, not 2 of them on the jersey over there. But Malachi running a good route, making the guy miss and able to get first down yardage.
His first catch of the night for Malachi Hopkins.
Saw him catch his first touchdown last week.
He is the 4th Southeast receiver to catch a ball from Gannon Jacobson tonight. Here's Gebhardt stretching it out on the right-hand side. He'll get to the 35-yard line on a gain of 2. Southeast continues to go lightning quick here. And pace and tempo is a lot of like Southeast was to do. They don't always go fast. If it's calls for it and it's necessary, they'll slow it down and drag the break.
Yeah, they'll just get right up to the line of scrimmage and get the play call, but they may run 10 more, 15 more seconds off the play clock. Just allows Gannon to survey the defense and have plenty of time to make a change if needed.
Tip of the football setting at the 35. Second down and 8. Pitch out left-hand side. Gebhardt slims off 2 tacklers, and he's going to spin his way to the 32-yard line. Gain of 3.
And what a block over there just coming into the game. Trey Droege over there, senior, on that left tackle spot with a great kick-out block over there to allow Grady to cut that one back up the field.
We've seen more Bryson Lippold on offense here tonight than what we have this season, too. Third down and 5. Play action to Gebhardt. They will go to Lippold. He'll catch it at the 30. Stiff arm at the 25, and then he's drugged down and flung out of bounds at the 22-yard line. It's a gain of 13. Jacobson to Bryson Lippold.
No announcer jinx on that one. Call him out. Give him the football. What a route right there by Bryson Lippold. And Landon just able to bring him down by the jersey, where else Bryson had a lead blocker to Caden Berrigan out in front of him.
To the 23-yard line. We don't talk about Caden Berrigan and his blocking away from the play enough. Sometimes he's in the middle of the play. Sometimes he's away from the play. He's always working. Here's a couple of misdirections. It ends up with Thaxton stretching it out left-hand side to the 20, 15, cuts it back, spins to the 10, inside of the 10, and takes a couple of Bearcats to bring him down at the 9-yard line. Thaxton with 14 yards on his second carry of the game.
Yeah, and Southeast did something different right there. They brought everybody inside the hashes. A lot of smoke and mirrors there, and Ellsworth fell for half of it. Another good block on that far side by the offensive line, and Malachi Hopkins on that far side able to seal the corner in to get Thaxton to the outside.
Into the Case IH Red Zone, brought to you by Can-Equip. Their new state-of-the-art facility is in Solomon, right off I-70. Here's Gebhardt. He spins his way in the hole. Not going to get much here. Maybe got a yard. We'll see where they call him down here. They're going to say back to the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play.
And I was not watching the play there. I put my eyes on the offensive line, and it's hard to take your eyes off of number 75, Brody Chambers. Once again, had his guy drove almost to the goal line, and that play didn't even go that direction.
Actually lost about a half a yard back here. We'll call it the 10. Second down and goal. Jacobson wants to pass out to the right-hand side. Here's Lippold again, has a blocker out in front, and Bryson Lippold will take it down to the 4 on a gain of 6.
And once again, it's Caden Berrigan out there. He's given up so much size, height and weight-wise, but he stays with his guy. Maybe doesn't clear him out, but keeps contact with him, allowing somebody with the receiver right there to get up on his back and just follow him down the field. What a job. Like you said, we don't talk about it enough. Caden Berrigan doesn't get the ball a lot his way, but he knows his responsibility out there for this offense.
3rd down and goal from the 4. 3 receivers clustered to the left-hand side. Lippold, Thaxton, and Hopkins. Thaxton's going to move Lippold here more inside. Gebhart and Berrigan to the right. Now Grady Gebhart will be in motion. They'll fake the ball to him, and Jacobson will have to pay the price on this one. That Ellsworth defense, led by Landon Johnson, comes crashing in, and it costs Southeast of Saline 3 yards.
Yeah, spread them out and tried to go Grady in motion and run the option play. Devin, they're not going to kick a field goal here, so they're going to leave the offense out on the field. But I like what they did right there. Spread them out, but then maybe you want to see them running around right here. Look for – you got Malachi Hopkins and Tucker Thaxton on the same side of the field, almost stacked on top of each other.
Southeast of Saline. Another 4th down here. It's 4th and goal from the 12. Jacobson, play action, rolling out to the left, looking for somebody to spring open. Now he's going to let it go, and it's incomplete through the back of the end zone. So Southeast of Saline comes away empty-handed on the first drive of the second half, and Ellsworth will take over now at their own 7-yard line. Actually, excuse me, it's the 12.
Yeah, and ran 6 minutes off the clock right there.
It is the 7.
Yeah, it is the 7-yard line.
This field's hard to read. If you're watching on video, you can see what I mean. 7:19 left to go here. 30-0. Ellsworth gets a stop. It seems like Southeast just has had the ball forever.
Yeah, I mean, the time of possession in this game has been unreal.
Back in there, quarterback Will Donnelly, the senior. And we're going to have this one blown dead from the line judge on the far side. And it's a procedure penalty on Ellsworth. So they're going to pick up and start the second half like they ended the first half. They just had so many problems with penalties in that first half, especially the second quarter.
Yeah, and it's on 1st and 2nd down. It's those early downs that you're beating yourself. You know, you put yourself behind the sticks, and I know I've said this a whole bunch and probably overstating it, but this team is run heavy. They are not built to be 1st and 15, 2nd and 12 in those situations.
Half the distance to the goal will cost them 4 yards, take them back to the 4-yard line. 1st and 14. Donnelly asking for the ball here. He's going to turn, give it to Johnson. Johnson comes exploding across the 5, and he will get to the 7-yard line and gain 3. Landon Johnson in this game, 14 carries, 69 yards.
And he's had more yards by himself tonight than this Ellsworth team had all of last week, and the whole game was 67 yards.
And that will get back a good portion of the penalty yardage that they just had, so it's 2nd down and 10.
Yeah, they now sitting at over 100 yards of offense, or close to it, but yet still 0 points on the board.
Not quite 100 yards.
Told you I wasn't good at math.
Second down and 10. Here for Ellsworth, trying to work the way out of their own end zone. And Grady Gebhart pointing out a Bearcat that moved, and it's another procedure penalty. They'll have to go backwards again, another half the distance back to the goal. They'll go from the 7 back to about the 3.5.
Yeah, and it's nothing new. It's on the shift that Southeast does that they've done all year long. You got to see it on film. They've done it for the last 4 years that I've been involved in this with you, and it's nothing new. They're going to bark out a signal. They're going to shift one way or the other, and now it's really biting Ellsworth here in this third quarter.
Meanwhile, the clock continues to roll. 6 minutes left to play here in the third. Ellsworth now with Will Donnelly standing in his own end zone. In the shotgun formation, he'll turn, give it to Tucker Goss. Lippold hits him first. Gebhart in there as well, and he's going to twist and turn his way back out to the 7-yard line on a gain of 4.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to give him 5 right there, as they're going to put it down at the 8.
13 yards on 5 carries for Tucker Goss tonight. That will bring up 3rd down and 9.
Ran a lot of plays to get 1 yard.
Boy, howdy. 2 receivers on each side. It's Donnelly and Goss in the backfield. Donnelly will take the snap. Shovel passes it off to Goss, and he is immediately hit, hog-tied, and thrown to the ground right at the goal line by Brody Chambers. And they're going to give him forward progress to the 5.
That's a generous forward progress spot because Brody did not drive him back 5 yards.
I don't see how it's the 5, honestly.
Fool me once on that little shovel pass play where they got a first down on 3rd and 15 in the first half. Brody Chambers not fooled that time.
Still goes as a completion. And 4th down as Johnson will have to punt from the back of his own end zone. This is best punt of the night probably. We'll see what the bounce does. Thaxton will take it off the bounce at the 43. Angling to the left-hand side, 35 to the 33. He went down but knee didn't touch. He put his hand on the ground. And they're going to say 32.5-yard line is where Tucker Thaxton puts his Southeast of Saline Trojan offense for their second possession of the 3rd quarter.
And the first time they've now started a drive inside their opponent's territory. We've seen Southeast tonight put together 1-play drives for a touchdown, 2-play drive for a touchdown. Then the next time they get the ball, they go 11 plays with the Gannon-Jacobson run to end the first half. If you're Southeast right here, you've already given away one possession. You can't give away another.
First down and 10 at the 33. Short field here for Southeast of Saline. Gebhardt with the carry. He is hit at the point of attack, but now gets away, comes out of the pile, head down, and he's moving to the 25. He's going to be tackled at the 22-yard line. What a carry. Maybe his best one of the night as far as entertainment value goes. It's 11 yards and a lot of work done there by Grady Gebhardt.
Yeah, he got 10 yards, but he may have covered 20 or 25 yards there as he broke 3-4 would-be tacklers.
Unbelievable. Could have Double G back in the mix, huh? We missed him. Here's Gebhardt again, jump cut, out left-hand side, another spin move, and he's going to get tattooed there as he makes it just to the 20-yard line. Again, Southeast of Saline looking to kick down the door of the Can-Equip red zone.
Yeah, they're going to give him a gain of 1 right there. Good job, but maybe a little too patient right there, kind of letting the blocks come through, and when he planted that foot to cut back inside, and Ellsworth Bearcat was waiting on him that time.
At the 21, 2nd down and 9. Caden Berrigan splits out wide to the right. 3:24 left to go here in this one, 30-0, Southeast of Saline. Comes a man in motion. They're going to give it to Kenyon Douglas. Douglas has to retreat, go in the backfield. Now he's going to be to the 20, 15, dragging a Bearcat down inside of the 10 to the 9-yard line. A gain of 12 for Kenyon Douglas.
He better go over and slap the helmet once again of Caden Berrigan. We're going to talk about him as much as we can on the outside. Doesn't get the ball thrown to him, but locked up on the cornerback right there, turned him to the sideline, allowing Kenyon to make that play and cut it up for a first down.
First and goal from the 9 for Southeast of Saline. Tight formation here. They're going to fake it to Gebhardt. Jacobson pulls it out. Now he cuts it back up inside, and he will dance into the end zone untouched. Gannon-Jacobson, his second rushing touchdown of the night, his second rushing touchdown of 9 yards.
And that might be one of the best plays that he's had tonight. He put that thing in the belly of Grady Gebhardt, and old Grady just paid the price right there as the ball was still in his belly. Absolutely got clobbered. Gannon pulls that thing out at the last minute. It just opens up like the Red Sea, and he drives it right through the middle for his second rushing touchdown of the night. And now we'll see the swinging gate by Southeast for the first time tonight.
Everybody going heavy left, looking over the sideline. Yeah, Grady got tattooed and was laying on the seat of his pants, but he was clapping for his teammate the whole
way.
They're going to direct snap this one back here to Jacobson. He'll give it to Grady Gebhardt, who's trying to stretch him out, and he's going to be slung down by his jersey from behind, and Southeast of Saline will not get that 2-pointer. 2:52 left to go here in the 3rd quarter. Southeast of Saline extends their lead. Southeast of Saline football on KINA and also with live stream video on SalinaPost.com, brought to you by Commercial Tire Centers.
Something we all need in our business, home, car, and life. But do you really understand what's covered? And most importantly, what you are paying for? Hi, this is Rob Carlson in the Salina office of Smart Insurance. Change is good, especially if you haven't looked at your insurance policy lately. I can help you understand what you need and where the gaps are in your coverage. We provide free quotes and take pride in looking out for you. Smart Insurance, with locations in Salina, Abilene, and Harrington. Give us a call today.
You are listening to Southeast Trojan Football on KINA Sports.
Southeast Trojan Football brought to you by Hancock Chiropractic in Salina, also Assyria Oil and Hardware. Frisbee Construction, Salina Ortho, Mary Mates, Smart Insurance, and Suburban Appliance. Glad you could jump on and join us here. However you may be listening or watching on KINA, 910 AM, 107.5 FM. You can also stream live video on SalinaPost.com and go back and watch any Southeast of Saline game in our archives on demand, free of charge. Tonight it's brought to you by Commercial Tire Centers. Here's the kick by Malachi Hopkins. It will take a bounce. Ellsworth will pick it up. Goss picks it up to 25. Now he's coming to the left-hand side, and he will be escorted out of bounds by Tiernan Potacik, just short of the 35-yard line. So for the second time here in this second half, Ellsworth will put their offense out onto the field.
I feel like when Ellsworth had the ball in that last drive, they lined up to run about 14 plays with all the penalties and were able to get a half a yard, maybe. No, they were -3 on that last drive as they punted from their own end zone.
They have only ran 27 plays so far in this game. From the 34, 2:46 left to go here in the third. 36-0, Southeast of Saline. Goss with the snap. Play action. He'll take it himself. Has a Southeast Trojan hopping on his back, and he will drag the pile out to the 30-yard line. Gain of 1.5 on the play.
Yeah, it looked like Killian Vaughn and Canyon Douglas were able to make that tackle right there. It looked like it was going to spring free for a big play, and they're only going to give them 2 yards right there. So a good job of tackling once again, as now the quarterback's going to check out, so you'll probably see Goss back at quarterback.
Second down and 8. Donnelly looks like he's working through something here physically. One of the coaches over there checking on him. So it'll be Tucker Goss here in the backfield, along with Landon Johnson. The fake is to Johnson. Goss is going to keep it. He's going to come out of the crowd and work his way towards the 45, and he will be brought down after a gain of 7 and leave it at 3rd down and 1.
And it has been an absolute battle out there between right tackle Tyler Conley and Brody Chambers these last 2 plays. Just a physical game up front.
9 yards on 2 carries by Tucker Goss. He will now step aside. Landon Johnson. Nope, sorry, apologize. That's Will Donnelly back in there at quarterback. 3rd down and 1. He will fake it to Johnson, and he will get sacked and be slung down. Ian Nicholson coming in for Southeast of Saline on the quarterback sack.
Spin cycle by Ian Nicholson. He was blocked to the inside, spun to that outside shoulder, and when he spun, Donnelly was right there in his lap, just put his arms out, took him down for a loss of 8 yards. What a phenomenal play by Ian Nicholson right there.
He is one of those guys we have loved watching this year because he's on a rocket upwards. I mean, he just gets better and better and better the longer the season goes. Here's punt formation now. Johnson, token pressure by Southeast of Saline, and this will be the second one tonight that he shanks out of bounds. So good field position here once again coming up for Southeast of Saline as they will take custody of the football here inside a minute left to go in the third quarter.
Yeah, they're going to get it at the 48-yard line. They walk that thing up about 13 yards. So you got 46 seconds left here in the third quarter for Southeast. We've seen that last drive, a good drive put together, capped off by Gannon Jacobson with a great run, read up the middle to score a touchdown.
First down and 10, Southeast of Saline. Comes out here to put the third quarter to bed, 46.5 seconds left to go here as they take over at the 48-yard line. Jacobson, quick little bubble screen out. Thaxton has to grab it off his kneecaps and then turns quickly upfield and speeding his way. I've seen Tucker Thaxton make a million moves after completing the catch this year. He's so much fun to watch.
Yeah, and they like to get him that ball in that flat out area over there and just let him run wherever because he is so ecstatic, and it looks like we're going to have an injury timeout right here by the officials.
Thaxton went down after gaining 7 yards. Like they may have been trying to stretch him out over there. Of course, he'll get the attention of the Salina Regional Orthopedic and Sports Medicine trainers. Fourth completion for Jacobson here in the second half. Now they go back to Grady Gebhardt, who will take it to the 43.
Yeah, he got everything he could right there, did Grady Gebhardt, as that play kind of fell apart quickly, and he's able to keep those legs churning and get positive yards there.
That was Grady's 20th carry of the night.
Update from the Bennington State Bank scoreboard. Rock Creek all over Chapman, 56-6 at the half.
That got ugly quick. Here's Jacobson, wants to go deep down the middle of the field. Kenyon Douglas was held up that time. He was in bracket coverage with 2 Bearcats. That'll bring up 4th down and 2.
I like that play call right there. Take a shot on 3rd down, knowing right here you're probably going to go for it with 2 yards-ish to go here. So Gannon going to pop over. Kenyon looked like he ran into a defender right there as he was set to run that drag route across the middle that we see Tucker Thaxton run oh so well throughout the year.
4.6 seconds left here in this 3rd quarter. 4th down and 1. The stick on the far side says 3rd down. It is 4th down. And this will be a procedure penalty against Southeast of Saline. So that'll move it to a 4th and 6, back to the 48.
Yeah, it looked like might have been Brody Chambers, possibly right there. It was on the right side. Somebody got up. Good to see Tucker Thaxton now checking back into the game.
4th down and 6 for Southeast of Saline. 3 wide receivers bunched up on the left-hand side. Jacobson fakes the pitch opposite way, leaks it out. Bryson Lippold, 1st down and more. Lippold up the sideline, 35, and then ran out of bounds just short of the 30-yard line at the 31. What a play that time by Bryson Lippold of 17 yards.
And a key block on that outside by who just checked back into the game, Tucker Thaxton. That'll take us to the end of the 3rd quarter.
We are at the end of 3. Southeast of Saline continues to dominate Ellsworth. 36-0, Southeast of Saline out in front as you listen to Southeast of Saline football and watch live stream video presented by Commercial Tire Centers.
At Maury Clinic Sports Medicine, we are available when you need us most. I'm Dr. Andrew Westbrook, and I am the sports medicine physician at Maury Clinic. I see patients of all ages and help them come back stronger than ever. From broken bones to joint pain, my team and I are committed to help you do more. For those with sports injuries, come see us at our sports medicine walk-in clinic Monday and Thursday mornings from 8 to 9 a.m. Prevent, recover, and strengthen so you can perform your best. Maury Clinic Sports Medicine. Make your move with confidence.
The Southeast of Saline School District has a long-standing reputation for excellence. This excellence in public education has been a source of great pride and one of the factors contributing to the quality of life in our community. The Southeast of Saline Education Foundation works in partnership with the USD 306 School District and the community that it serves to maximize student potential, thereby creating a lasting legacy, not only for our children, but for our community. The Southeast of Saline Education Foundation salutes the Trojan Sports Program.
You're listening to Trojan Football on KINA Sports.
Trojans ready to go here to start 4th quarter action. 1st down and 10 after Bryson Lippold had a catch of 17 yards. Here's a give on the end around. Tucker Thaxton, look out, he broke out to the right. Tucker Thaxton still on his feet, and he's going to score. Tucker Thaxton begins the 4th quarter with an electric run of 31 yards and another Southeast of Saline touchdown.
It just must be the 1st and 3rd quarter are setups for what's going to happen in the 2nd and 4th. So for the 2nd time tonight, just like they did in the 1st half, first play of the 2nd quarter goes for a touchdown. First play of the 3rd quarter goes for a touchdown. And Tucker Thaxton on that outside, he put the spin cycle on once again on a defender and just planted that foot up the field, and then it's just a foot race, and they just outrun everybody right there.
2nd touchdown of the night for Thaxton, 1 rushing, 1 receiving. Here's a direct snap on the gate to Grady Gebhardt, and he will just walk her in. 8 points on the drive. First play of the game for Southeast of Saline. We are 9 seconds in to the 4th quarter as we step away once again from the Equity Bank broadcast booth in Ellsworth. It's Southeast of Saline 44, Ellsworth nothing. It's Trojan football.
Mary Maids in Salina offers house cleaning services you can see and feel. Your home is more than just a house. It's where memories are made and moments are cherished. Though life can be complicated, house cleaning shouldn't be. Mary Maids strives to take the stress out of your day so you can live your life your way. With more than 40 years experience and an advanced time-tested cleaning process, they can help you reclaim time with your loved ones. Find Mary Maids on Facebook or check out their website at marymaids.com.
You are listening to Southeast Trojan Football on KINA Sports.
It's an update of score from the Bennington State Bank scoreboard. A current NCAA school, a former NCAA school. Probably know why they got out of the NCAA. Beloit beating Russell 40-0 in the third quarter.
Yeesh. Another update, Salina Central up on the half on Goddard, a good game that our friend Tyler Henry's got the call on. If this game gets any more out of hand, you can flip over and watch that one.
1 point game, right?
Yes.
You can just go watch it later. They're always for you. Here's the kickoff. Johnson has to go down in a crouch and take it. Comes across the 20, across the 30, and then taken down there at the 34-yard line. Ian Nicholson in on the tackle that time, along with Kendall Miniman. Kendall's been really active on special teams the last few weeks.
Yeah, he's been really good, and he's really been good all year at that offensive line spot. You know, we really don't talk about the offensive line probably enough, but tonight more than ever, Gannon almost had 300 yards passing in the first half, and you got to chalk that up to the offensive line.
And really hasn't gotten dirty a whole lot.
No, he hasn't been hit very much at all.
From their own 34, Goss will be back to take the snap once again. Johnson directly behind him. They'll turn. Goss, little read option play, will keep it himself, try to stretch it out to the right. No gain on the play. 22 yards on 8 carries tonight for Tucker Goss.
This is good. The Southeast defense knew this was going to, I mean, everybody knew this was going to be, you're going to have to stop the run to come in. And I think tonight, obviously, looking at the score 44-0, and Ellsworth really hasn't completed hardly any passes. Southeast doing a great job on run defense.
2nd down and 10 after no gain there on 1st down. Guy in motion here for Ellsworth. Comes back to Donnelly this time. He's going to give it to Johnson, who will come to the 35-yard line and a gain of 1.
Johnson, the ball carrier.
15 carries, 70 yards for Landon Johnson tonight.
Yeah, and how good on these outside have these corners been in Canyon Douglas and Bryson Lippold, just funneling everything back inside and making them run right up the middle.
And really hybrids, right? They're linebackers / defensive backs. I mean, they have so much flexibility. Now we see Deacon Bear. He's back there at linebacker along with Killian Vaughn. Marion Holleb also in there along with Tiernan Potachik. Here's Brody Chambers. He runs right into Eli Johnson, stands him up and drives him back. Loss of 2 as Brody Chambers taking care of business.
Yeah, Brody Chambers made the tackle, but I think the assist was to the right guard who he blew up into the backfield of Landon Johnson, and another negative play, and now Landon, he's punted about as many times as he's carried the ball tonight. You'd think they turned it over on downs their first drive of the game and have punted every drive since then.
Yeah, that drove him back to the 33. Here's the punt. This one's going to be over to the track, too. And this one didn't even go to the first down sticks. Maybe a net of
5 yards.
So Southeast will take over at the 39-yard line. Short field again for Southeast of Saline. Trojans already lead it 44-0, 9:51 left to go. Southeast of Saline football presented to you by Sage Products. At home, we enjoy the convenience of Sage Products. We will have the luxury of enjoying them all throughout the playoffs on the campus of Southeast of Saline, it appears, as wholesale substitutions start to happen. Tiernan Potachik has come in at quarterback. Levon Hopkins directly behind him as a running back. Tiernan will take it, give it to Hopkins. Little play out to the right-hand side, and Levon Hopkins will get 2 or 3 yards on the play, stretching it out to the right.
And still not go down. Coach Gebhardt talks a lot about this young man. It's as hard as he runs up the middle, and got a lot of changes out there. Looks like everybody has rotated out.
Trey Droege, Kendall Miniman's still out there. Also out there on offense, Adam Thiel.
Deacon Bear's still out there on the offensive line. Marion Hollow playing that slot back position.
Here's the give again to Levon Hopkins. He will surge ahead for a couple. Couple carries, 3 yards there for Levon. Here comes more big bodies coming in for Southeast of Saline. Jared Friesen into the game. She mentioned Trey Droege there on the left tackle. Also, Jaden Kloster in the game as well. He's a slot receiver here on the near side. 3rd down and 8 Patacic rolling left, wants to throw it. Has James Friesen out in the flat. No, he does not. He goes to a different receiver. That's going to be Kloster. And that will be 4th down. Kloster couldn't hang on to it. He's went down to the ground. Friesen and Kloster are both in the same area that time.
Yeah, probably one probably should have been deeper than the other, and Southeast going to leave the offense out on the field. And we'll go over maybe something not football related, but Southeast related after this play.
4th down and 7. Patacic with 3 wide receivers. One of them on the right-hand side. He rolls out that way, delivers it, and he cannot get it into the breadbasket that time. He was intended for Caden Berrigan, and it'll be a turnover on downs for Southeast. Go ahead, Russ.
Yeah, the Southeast Saline agronomy team at the National FFA competition placed in the gold division. Caden and Evan, not sure last names here, sorry it's not on there, in the silver division individually, while Eli placed in the gold division. And then they had a national agronomy champion, Landon Albright.
New Landon did well. I saw that yesterday. So congratulations to the FFA students from Southeast of Saline. That sounds like a big week.
Yeah.
1st down and 10 for Ellsworth. Tucker Goss on the keeper, stepping through the Southeast of Saline defense on a gain of 12. That is his longest carry of the night. Also want to remind people, a big day tomorrow on campus of Southeast of Saline. Wade Castleman and the Southeast of Saline cross-country runners hosting regionals on the campus of SES. And it looks to be a beautiful day for cross-country at Southeast.
Yeah, I don't think you could ask for a better day. Southeast looking to send both teams, winning regionals again, sending teams to the state title.
Not a bad deal when you get to host, right?
Yeah, it's never a bad thing.
Good luck to Wade Castleman and all the kids competing tomorrow on the campus of Southeast. 1st down and 10 here. Goss will keep it again, and he will come across the 50-yard line, get to the 49. It's a gain of 2 on the play for Tucker Goss. Goss, the primary carrier here. They have only given it to Landon Johnson 3 times in the second half. Maybe seeing the writing on the wall and preserving him for playoffs. Lyric Lilly in there on the tackle.
Oh, he just, excuse me, I forgot to warn you. He just checked into the game for the first time.
We also have Hendricks Lund out here at a defensive back spot. Tiernan Patacic out there as well. We talked about him. He's been in and out of safety all night. Here's the give to Johnson. He does have it this time, and he gets into the second level, and Johnson might score. He's being chased, and he steps through that. And Landon Johnson gives the home crowd something to talk about from 49 yards away. Ellsworth scores their first touchdown of the night with 6:56 left to go.
They've been waiting to fire off that cannon for about 2.5 hours now, and I still wasn't ready for it. But Landon Johnson able to break free and break a couple tackles. Caden Berrigan ran him down and just was unable to make that tackle at about the 15-yard line. So Ellsworth getting in for the first time tonight. Too little, too late right now for Ellsworth.
2-point conversion pending. That'll put Landon Johnson over 100 yards as they will sit up here in the 2-point play. Donnelly will misdirection it to Johnson. Now he'll pitch it to a Bearcat that's sweeping out to the left-hand side, and walking this one in will be Dax Leiker. So Ellsworth gets on the board. It brings us to another timeout with 6:56 left to go. 44-8, Southeast of Saline leading it in Ellsworth from the Equity Bank broadcast booth. This is Trojan Football.
Up into your home, time is crucial. Hours are precious to minimize the mess and damage. That is where Salina Septic Service looks out for you with direct access to their dispatch board, so you can schedule the first available appointment. Upload pictures and description of your problem on the Salina Septic Service website and secure your appointment 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Money-saving specials now and information on worry-free service plans when you visit salinasepticservice.com.
You are listening to Southeast Trojan Football on KINA Sports.
Landon Johnson able to fire the cannon for the Bearcats as he is now eclipsed 100 yards. 17 carries, 117 yards and a touchdown for Landon Johnson. A senior, able to get through the secondary there of Southeast of Saline's backup defense. Here's Canyon Douglas on the kick return, comes back to the 20, 25-30, 35-40, and then ran out of bounds on the Southeast of Saline sideline. Good return, that time by Canyon Douglas, out past the 40-yard line.
Yeah, picked up a key block over there from Tucker Thaxton to get him around the outside, and they're going to spot this about the chains look like they might have taken the most damage on that play. They're going to mark it right at the 40.
We need to kind of start a campaign here, or maybe a GoFundMe account against chain abuse. We've seen some really
that one snapped in half.
Yeah, it's bad. Southeast, of course, they're ready to go. They're at the 40-yard line, and they have been told that the chains aren't ready yet.
Cooper Westhoff in at wide receiver. Good to see that senior in there getting some playing time.
So we're ready to go. Southeast of Saline, Tiernan Potocik ready to go from the 40. He's going to turn, give it to Levon Hopkins, and he is stacked up and backed up. He'll lose 2 on the play.
Yeah, we did not see Amarion Holub tonight carry the ball at all on offense, and we saw him really carry the workload with Grady Gebhardt's absence. And I don't think we can talk about how big he was in those games when Grady went down with that ankle injury.
Yeah, a joy to watch. And just in those couple of games that he played, he scored 7 touchdowns.
Yeah.
Here's a ball on the ground that Potocik's going to have to scoop up, and he was going to take it back to the line of scrimmage and gain a yard. Yeah, good job there by Tiernan on the saving play. Clock down to 6 minutes left to go. Points won't matter in this one. This one's a head-to-head deal. Southeast of Saline continues on as the result shows right now. They will win their 5th consecutive district title.
And I think it's big with the playoff format now. You will get home field advantage all the way through.
Tiernan Potocik unloads it. And a first down for Southeast of Saline. Adam Thiel out here on the edge will take it to the 50-yard line on a gain of 11. That was a bullet by Tiernan.
Yeah, Tiernan cocked that thing back with the wrong hand and and let it go, being a southpaw back there. But he got the ball out of his hand quick, and a really good route ran by Thiel, putting that foot in the ground, running the defender off, and catching that one and turning and getting them extra 2 yards for a first down.
It's almost an embarrassment of riches, right, what Southeast of Saline can do. You can play Gannon Jacobson. You can play Tiernan Potocik. You also have Tyson Keller that comes up from the freshman squad. I mean, it is just really, you look at running back, right? We just talked about that. It's just
offensive line.
Depth at every spot, yeah. Friesen is in there as a blocking back. He's going to try to lead Levon Hopkins, but this first-team defense for Ellsworth doing their job. Actually, the pile ends up going forward here, and they're going to get about 2 yards for Levon Hopkins.
Tristan Swank right there coming in, freshman getting behind the pile and saving the loss there for Southeast.
Alex Sawyer's also in on that for Southeast of Saline.
Looks like you got Garrett Kuhn there at the left tackle spot.
They were able to cross midfield and go to the 49-yard line. Of course, Southeast taking this clock down as much as they can. They have been able to reduce time down to 4:23. Back judge not counting yet. Potocik will move Jaden Kloster in motion. Turn and give it to Levon Hopkins again. 2 arms wrapped tightly around that football, and he'll plunge ahead to the 45 after a gain of 4.
Yeah, Levon's not a guy that's going to put a move on you. He's just going to tuck that thing into his belly, 2 arms, get low, and just push the pile as far as you can. That was an impressive run, and I think what I like to see most out of him is them young players, 2 hands on the ball and just securing that thing.
3rd down and 4 for Southeast of Saline. Potocik wants to throw, has to step up in the pocket. He's going to unload it. Maybe should have kept running that time, but I don't think either decision is going to matter as there's a flag down on the play.
I think it's going to be holding on Southeast on the offensive line somewhere, and they're going to take them back and not decline the penalty and bring up 4th down.
So holding against Southeast of Saline. Tiernan Potocik that time tried to unload it to Westhoff. Now they will go back on the other side of the 50 to the 45.
Yeah, that play wouldn't have mattered, but maybe Tiernan had a lot of space out here on this left-hand side as Thiel had ran both the defenders well down the field.
3rd down and 15. These are minutes that you look back on next year, maybe 2 years from now. They build depth, man. Me and Gebhardt talk about that all the time, and Mitch knows how important these are. He wants his guys to play well. Here's Tiernan Potocik now, a little read option. Tiernan into the second level. Tiernan near a 1st down, and he's going to flirt with the sticks at the 41-yard line, covering the football up with both hands. Looks like he has a gain of 13 yards and 4th and 2 coming up.
And Tiernan may be the smallest guy out on the field right now, but that young man may have the biggest heart out there. He just took on 2 defensive backs. Just tried to run right over him, not looking to avoid contact. Just tuck that thing down and just tried to get 1st down for Southeast.
You've met his parents, right?
I think.
4th down and 2 for Southeast of Saline. Long stare over to the sideline. 2:54 left to go. See if Southeast can pick this one up. They go heavy on the right-hand side. Kloster in motion. Potocik fakes it to him, stretches it out to the right. 1st down, Tiernan Potocik, look out. 30, 20, trying to outrace a Bearcat, and he's caught inside the 10. Tiernan Potocik picks up a 1st down for Southeast of Saline, and he's down around the 10-yard line.
Hey, just trying to get those points back. They just gave up and just couldn't outrun the Ellsworth defense. But what a job on the last 2 plays by Tiernan Potocik. Now what? 3 carries for 46 yards unofficially.
That one went for 32. They're going to spot him down at the 10 as once again Southeast of Saline visits the Case IH Red Zone, brought to you by Can Equip in Salina. And Southeast of Saline will be able to take more time off this clock. Now down to 2:18 left to go with a 1st down and goal just inside of the 10-yard line. 2 receivers to the right-hand side, 1 in motion. They go back to Levon Hopkins, and he will take it down inside of the 10 to the 7, gain of 3.
I think more importantly right here, you keep the clock running. You just keep the time going, get out of here healthy, up by a substantial margin. Yeah, it would be nice. I'm sure these young men want to get this ball in the end zone because Ellsworth varsity defense is still on the field.
Yes, they are. Yeah, we had a conversation off air with Coach Gebhardt about taking a knee, not taking a knee, letting the young kids play it out, and just kind of, everybody's got a different story, and we were talking to him about that earlier today. 2nd down here in goal. Potocik again moves Kloster, and this one's going to be blown dead.
Tiernan was looking to take that thing to the house on that fake play, and you're going to get a false start. That'll push him back a little further.
So this will move him back to the 12-yard line. Stick with us in postgame. We'll do a quick check of some scores of interest on the Bennington State Bank scoreboard. We'll also have comments from head coach Mitch Gebhardt as they will collect a district championship and an NCAA league championship tonight. Russ is on his way down to the Salina Ortho sideline to have the conversations with the head coach. A penalty will back Southeast of Saline up here to the 12-yard line. Clock continues to roll. 70 seconds left to go here in this one. 2nd down and goal. From the 12, Potocik rolling out, left-hand side, has the ball ready to go, and he's going to throw into the end zone. His receiver fell down. Looked like Thiel was down in the end zone there. Possible slip, and that pass falls incomplete. Tiernan Potocik now 1 of 4 throwing the football. 58 seconds left to go. So that'll bring up 3rd down and goal now from the 12. Stick with us in postgame. As I said, comments from head coach. Also, stats as we wrap this one up on a big night for Southeast of Saline. They accomplished a lot of things tonight here in Ellsworth. Here's Potocik on the read option play. Fakes the sweep one side. He's going to run to the other. Got about a yard on the play, but kept it in bounds, so that clock continues to run. Will Donnelly in on the tackle for Ellsworth. That takes the clock down to 40 seconds left. 4th down, though. So Southeast of Saline possibly can take it down and run one more play here and maybe kill this clock. Not really interested in doing more than that, I think. set up here. Clock down to 14. Patochik, 2 wide receivers to the right. He's going to fake it to Kloster. Tiernan wants to throw it or maybe just run around and kill the clock here on 4th down. He's going to be backed up to the 22-yard line and then be sacked down there by Cooper McGowan. So they're going to lose 11 on that play. And that will stop the clock and give it back to Ellsworth with 4.2 seconds remaining.
And we kind of talked at halftime, Devin, and this may be one of, that I can recall here recently, probably the best game we've seen Gannon Jacobson have in that quarterback spot with the decisions he made, the reads he made all night, the throws he made. Just a great, great game.
So Will Donnelly will come out with the offense. One more play here for Ellsworth. They'll give it to Landon Johnson, and Johnson again trying to get to that second level. He does, but he's going to be tackled there by Tiernan Patochik after a gain of about 9 yards, and that will be the end of the game. Southeast of Saline, a productive night to say the least here in Ellsworth. For Southeast of Saline, they capture an NCAA league title for the 7th consecutive season. They also capture a district championship for the 5th consecutive season. And for the 5th consecutive season, Southeast of Saline is 8-0 as they come out of Ellsworth tonight with a big victory, 44-8 over the Ellsworth Bearcats. We have a lot to recap when we come back. Comments from the head coach. We'll also have stats for you and a quick check of that Bennington State Bank scoreboard. It's all coming up on Postgame, brought to you by Commercial Tire Centers after a big Trojan victory.
At Maury Clinic Sports Medicine, we are available when you need us most. I'm Dr. Andrew Westbrook, and I am the sports medicine physician at Maury Clinic. I see patients of all ages and help them come back stronger than ever. From broken bones to joint pain, my team and I are committed to help you do more. For those with sports injuries, come see us at our sports medicine walk-in clinic Monday and Thursday mornings from 8 to 9 a.m. Prevent, recover, and strengthen so you can perform your best. Maury Clinic Sports Medicine. Make your move with confidence.
At Vernon Jewelers, we are celebrating 140 years of our family serving yours, serving you with the best in prices, quality, and the service to back it up. You can trust us for your unique custom pieces and any repair you may need. And just because we've been around for 140 years doesn't mean we are old and out of touch. It just means we're really good at what we do. Now is the time to shop for the holiday. Come see us in downtown Salina and look for the iconic Vernon Jewelers sign on Santa Fe, here for you since 1884.
The Trojans are experts in precision passes, and Everhart Precision Ag are your experts in grid soil sampling. Everhart Precision Ag does all the sampling and data analysis in-house, keeping it local and close to the farm. They're also your local channel seedsman, selling all seeds with an emphasis in corn and soybeans. Trust Matt Everhart and Lane Hensley at Everhart Precision Ag, serving Saline, Dickinson, McPherson, and Ottawa counties, and also supporting Southeast of Saline Trojans. For more information, visit everhartprecision.com.
When it rains, it pours, so it's important for you to get coverage that meets your needs. The team at Kniper Agency with Farmers Insurance can help you understand your options so you can prepare for what the forecast brings. We know a thing or two because we've seen a thing or two. Learn more by calling Stephanie, Morgan, or Tiffany at the Kniper Agency at 825-8419 to find out how they can help you protect the things that matter most to you.
We are farmers. Bum, ba, dum, bum, 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 bum.
Underwritten by Farmers Truck Fire Insurance Exchanges and Affiliates. Products not available in every state.
Time for the Trojan Postgame Show on KINA Sports. Stick around for the game recap, final stats, and reaction from the coach. This is Trojan Football on KINA.
District Championship Trophy in the right hand of Athletic Director Doug Miniman, as he is ready to give it to Southeast of Saline. Russ down there awaiting Mitch Gebhardt, also taking a picture of Southeast of Saline and with their trophy, as they will get yet another trophy here. 44-8, the final score. Just some mind-boggling numbers for you as we await Mitch Gebhardt. The first season Mitch Gebhardt was coaching Southeast of Saline, he lost to Ellsworth. This is his hometown. And that didn't set well, just of the competitive nature of the head coach. Since then, they're 10-0. They're 10-1 now total with Mitch Gebhardt leading Southeast of Saline against Ellsworth. And that's by a combined score of 427-83 is what Southeast of Saline has beaten Ellsworth by in those 11 games that they are 10-1.
Say that score one more time.
427-83. These two teams did not play in 2015 through 2019 as they just weren't on the schedule. This is the third time in the past 4 seasons Southeast of Saline has had to come here in Ellsworth and play, and it's pretty lopsided. One of the most impressive things about tonight, it's been 1,834 days since Southeast of Saline has lost a regular season game. That will not change until next season, if then. The last time Southeast of Saline lost was October 18th of 2019 to Riley County. And that's just one of the impressive stats amongst many that we have tonight. Here's Coach.
Coach, you come out of here 44-8. You slow start. We talked about that at halftime, and then just kind of got that momentum going. Talk about the overall performance of the whole game.
Well, I thought our second quarter was real good. I mean, obviously, when you score 30 points and hold Ellsworth to 0, I thought we played real well the second quarter. First quarter, I think we were just banging around a little bit, and I thought our kids finished the game well.
So what Devin and I kind of talked about in the last 2 games, the key was tackling. You got to tackle better. You got to get the first guy's got to bring the guy down. And Landon Johnson's a tough guy to bring down. And I think your defense once again stepped up and did the right things again.
Yeah, I think they did, and I think we tackled better tonight than we had the last 2 weeks. They're good. They're good at the run game. I mean, there's no question about that. We knew that watching film and listening to everything. And I thought our kids did a pretty good job against the run game tonight.
So you now go in, more importantly, you go 1-0 this week, regular season wrapped up, 7th NCAA title in a row, 5th district title in a row. Just talk about what this team has had all year.
Well, I'm proud of them. I mean, we don't talk about what we've done before very often, and we did a little bit this week, but I'm proud of these guys. I mean, I don't know if there's extra pressure or whatever, but when you've won that many league titles and district titles and things like that, I mean, kids hear stuff, and I'm proud of them for blocking all that stuff out and just coming out here and playing a good football game tonight.
1,834 days since your last regular season loss. You go 1-0. More importantly now, going into the new playoff format, you get home field advantage. You never have to leave the Fritz the rest of the playoffs.
That's big. I mean, and we talked about that too. And a lot of times we don't talk about those things, but that's a big deal to get to play at home all the time. And our kids love being at home, and we know we're going to have a big crowd, and that's exciting for us.
All right, Coach. Once again, congratulations. Perfect regular season again. Now you hit the reset button and time to go perfect once again. There's somebody over there that wants to talk to you, so good luck next week.
All right, thank you.
Devin.
Head coach Mitch Gebhardt on the field there with Russ. Russ, thank you very much. In a Trojan win, 44-8. When you look at some of these stats, they are mind-boggling, especially in that second quarter that head coach Mitch Gebhardt talked about. Gannon Jacobson tonight was phenomenal. This is his best game of the season. He ends up 15 of 22 passing the football, 278 yards. He has 2 passing touchdowns, no interceptions. He also has 2 rushing touchdowns. Gannon tonight, our Vernon Jewelers gem of the game. Our Everhart precision pass of the game was Gannon's dime that he dropped on Canyon Douglas. Douglas ends up going 82 yards down the field for a touchdown. Let's finish out those numbers for you. Once again, Jacobson 15 of 22 throwing the football, 278 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. His leading target on the night, Tucker Thaxton, 7 catches, 119 yards and a touchdown. Canyon Douglas had that touchdown of 82 yards. 34 yards for both Grady Gebhardt and Bryson Lippold on 3 catches. 1 reception for Malachi Hopkins of 7 yards, and also a reception by Adam Thiel of 11 yards. Rushing the football, Grady Gebhardt tonight, 20 carries, 139 yards, and a touchdown. There was also the 2 rushing touchdowns by Gannon Jacobson and a rushing touchdown by Tucker Thaxton of 31 yards. Thaxton ends up with 48 yards rushing on 3 carries with that touchdown. 10 rushing yards and 36 rushing yards in second string duty tonight for Levon Hopkins and Tiernan Potachik, respectively. Ellsworth's leader, without a doubt, was Landon Johnson, 18 carries, 126 yards, and a touchdown. Final numbers for you. Southeast of Saline, 265 yards rushing. Ellsworth, 153 yards rushing. Southeast of Saline, 289 yards passing. Ellsworth, 20 yards passing. Final offensive numbers for you. Southeast of Saline, 554 yards of offense. Ellsworth with 173. Gannon Jacobson tonight was phenomenal. He had all of his buddies in the side cart with him. They were all able to get touchdowns, receiving, rushing, passing. Southeast of Saline got it done, and their constant was still there all game long, and that was the Trojan defense.
And you know, that defense has really stepped up and just been phenomenal all year long. The offense, talk about it now, 3 games in a row where Southeast hasn't scored in the first quarter. They come out tonight, they bust out 30 in the second quarter, but this defense, and really it comes down to the defensive line, just clogging up the middle. Nowhere to go really for Landon Johnson at all tonight.
The Trojans now will be propelled into the playoffs. They will not have to leave the friendly confines of their home stadium unless it is the last Friday of November, in which they will play a state playoff game. The next loss ends your season. Playoff time starts next week, and it should be fun as Southeast of Saline, by our calculation, we will be at home, and they will face either Douglas, Belle Plaine, or Larned next week as they go in the number 1 seed in the Western bracket in Class 2A. I'm sure our friends at K-Preps will have that all updated tonight. We will pass that information along to you on Salina Post. You can follow along on Twitter or X at SPostSports and see all the updates with the area schools, including Southeast of Saline. Once again, a victory tonight. Southeast of Saline completes yet another perfect season. For the 5th season in a row, they defeat Ellsworth here on the road, 44-8, behind 554 yards of total offense. A great crew again, as always, bringing you this game. Chris Cadle producing and engineering back at Studio Central, the KINA studios. Trey Tolley providing live stream video on SalinaPost.com. You can watch Southeast of Saline games anytime as they are archived on the Salina Post Sports YouTube page free of charge. That tonight brought to you by Commercial Tire Centers. For Russ Castle, my name's Devin Haney. I want to thank you for joining us for Southeast of Saline Trojan Football. Don't forget about the scoreboard show that's coming up at 10 o'clock. It'll run a full hour, and I'm sure Eric Peterson will have some playoff updates on what the first round looks like starting next week as we will enter, believe it or not, November. That will start next Friday night. We'll have it for you here on KINA. Have a great weekend. Don't forget about Chiefs football coming up on Sunday. It's a 2 o'clock pregame as the Chiefs go into Las Vegas to take on the Raiders. 3:25 kickoff, 2 o'clock pregame for Chiefs and Raiders coming up on Sunday. And then Kansas Wesleyan football, of course, tomorrow. They are on the road at St. Mary. You can join Tyler Henry for that. 44-8, Trojans win it. Playoffs starting on Friday right here on KINA.